And welcome into Friday Night Rivals here on WFGX as the Northview Chiefs Class 1A take on the Gulf Breeze Dolphins of Class 6A. The weather has passed here from Bratt, Florida, and we're looking for a great night of football under the lights. And Josh, we have two powerhouse teams matching up here tonight.
Right, Chad, but they're both looking for the first win of their season. So all week long they've been working hard trying to get here just to Friday night. And to tell us a little bit more about how they did that, we have the third member of our crew, Ricky Van. Ricky?
We're down by the field where the Chiefs and the Dolphins are getting ready for the big game tonight. Now, I did go to Gulf Breeze High School for their practice earlier this week, and I talked with Coach Nemeth. He said he talked to the guys about what happened on 9/11 14 years ago, because he said that these guys were 2 and 3 years old when the 9/11 attacks happened. He talked about how the country came together then, and when there's a moment of silence tonight, he talked about how the team will come together tonight along with everybody else here, not just their team, but also the Chiefs on the other side of the field. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky. Now let's take a look at the Ace Unlocks keys to the game here, Josh, for both of these teams here tonight.
Well, Chad, for Gulf Breeze, the key for them is just like Ricky was talking about. They have a little bit of a motivational aspect to what they did this week. Last week, some of the guys maybe tried to play hero a little bit too much, and they got themselves spread real thin in the second half. So Coach Nemeth is really going to try to balance their roster out a little bit, get everybody a little bit of a breather so that they don't run out of gas in the fourth quarter. Now for Northview, it's all about stopping the team speed of Gulf Breeze. They had a little bit of trouble against Crestview with that, but they are a 1A powerhouse, so they can really do some damage once they get rolling.
It's Northview and Gulf Breeze coming back on Friday Night Rivals, WFGX. And welcome into Friday Night Rivals here on WFGX as we're from Bratt, Florida. The rain has passed, and it should be a great night of football under the lights. Chad Berlante here with Josh Gay. And Josh, we got the Northview Chiefs Class 1A going up against Gulf Breeze of Class 6A. The Chiefs haven't had a problem taking on bigger opponents in the past. As we're set for football tonight, we'll take it down to the coin toss, brought to you by the Marines.
And Gulf Breeze won that toss, and they chose to defer to the second half. That means the Chiefs will be taking the ball to start off, Chad.
And starting things off tonight, let's take a look at the kicking game. Number 99, Nathan Paulchek will be kicking off for Gulf Breeze. And kick returning will be Luke Ward, a player that this year, Josh, has done a lot of things for this Northview roster in just one game.
That's right, and they're going to be leaning on him hard tonight. He really was the standout player in their loss against Crestview. Now, like you said, Northview just a 1A squad taking on these bigger squads, again in Crestview 2 weeks ago, and against a 6A squad here in Gulf Breeze. They really do have a limited depth to their team. They don't even have a JV team, just 45 players. So you're going to see a lot of younger guys try to step up. But in their stead, you do have number 1 Luke Ward back there, also our A-plus athlete.
It is really impressive what Northview's been able to do over the years with the amount of kids. Like you said, only 45 on the roster compared to most with 50, 60, sometimes even 70. And they continue to compete. They not only take on 6A squads, but they beat them as well. And tonight's going to be a challenge against this up-tempo Gulf Breeze team. The pooch kick is taken out at the 25-yard line, so that's where we'll start as we take a look at this Chiefs offense here tonight. And they're led by a senior quarterback in Gavin Grant. This is a guy that lost a couple of his key targets from last season as we take a look at his two favorite guys, Keandre Lett and Cameron Newsom. But now Gavin Grant having a new weapon in Luke Ward as we take a look at Friday Night Rivals, Northview's offense.
Well, and he said that he actually worked on team chemistry with Ward and Harrison as well. He feels that he actually has a better connection with them. They're on the same page. We only have a limited set of data from the first game, but they did look like they were on the same page.
Well, the opening play tonight, 3-wide spread offense. You're going to see this throughout the game from both teams. They like to spread the field and move up tempo. A lot of no huddles. This should be a high-scoring game. Both these teams, Josh, will look to try to move the football.
Right, and Northview is transitioning from like a double wing type offense to this spread offense. So you're going to see them with that short passing game. They still may move into that double wing power formation a little bit, but as you see here, they're going to move into that double wing formation. That's what Gavin Grant ran last year.
Chiefs should be well rested. Last week having the bye, the first handoff of the game, and tripped up over by the 21-yard line on that carry. Number 6, Tony Harrison for the Chiefs. And Josh, this might play a role here early on. We did have some rain in the area. It has passed, but we were walking around the field earlier, and it's still a little bit damp. So these players today keeping their footing might be a problem.
Yeah, Chad, and if you look at the area around here, we actually had a wide shot earlier. Everything kind of slopes down to this field. It's kind of in a natural bowl, so this field does get a little bit damp as they play the game here. So you may see some guys slipping around.
3rd down and 12. Back in the pocket. Grant looks to pass. The pass short. It would have only been good for about 7 yards. Still short of the first down marker, as it was intended for number 7, Ohiji Elliott. And that will bring up 4th down, so a good stop there by the Dolphins defense, forcing a 3-and-out on the first possession.
Yeah, and that Northview offense, they're still trying to find their rhythm. You run a spread like we saw a couple of weeks ago, you really have to have a rhythm set up. You really have to have a feel for the tempo of the game, and they still haven't found that yet. This is their 2nd game of the year versus a lot of guys' 3rd game.
The punt is away, and Cole Shepard back to return, but he lets the kick roll down to the 30. That's where the Gulf Breeze offense will start things off here, as they are led by a good quarterback in Tyler Phelps. Phelps has a 450-yard game over the last 2 and 3 touchdowns, completing 55% of his passes this season. Phelps has been their starter a couple years, and Josh, a good leader for this Gulf Breeze Dolphin squad.
And again, the offense lies directly on his shoulders. Against Catholic last week, they actually went up in the first half. They just got gassed at the end of the game and gave up some points. So this offense is a high-powered offense on the arm of Phelps.
4 wide, and the Southpaw's first throw is completed to his favorite target, Cole Shepard, who makes his 14th catch of the season, as Shepard moving the football up. And this is a team that's going to want to move quickly up the field. It's a little bit different. Last year they had Josh Irby. It was more of a run-first type team. This year, Josh, you're going to see a lot of passing in this offense.
Right, and off of that pass, you're going to see draw plays and misdirection plays out of the backfield. But it's all about spacing and finding room on the field to get their playmakers out there.
Phelps runs for a first down. He'll do that. It's his 15th carry of the year, as Gulf Breeze 0-2, but 2 tough losses. They were in both games to Choctawhatchee and Catholic, and looking for this first victory, as well as Northview. So somebody's going to get their first victory of the season, as Gulf Breeze actually heard somebody from the crowd just yell, "Slow down." It's hard enough for the people in the crowd to keep up with this offense, but you see it. It's innovative today. A lot of the colleges, even the pro teams with Chip Kelly, starting to run a quicker tempo game. It's not the old school. When I used to play quarterback, it was hand the ball off. Maybe it was because I was the quarterback. But, Josh, now you're looking at teams that want to move the ball quickly and spread it wide.
Well, even 5 years ago, you heard time of possession was the big factor that you wanted to see. But now you see the Brian Kelly at Notre Dame, Chip Kelly in the NFL. They want to score points quickly. They want to get moving. It doesn't let the defense substitute. And when you have a thin team, like maybe this Northview team, not being able to substitute can hurt them.
2nd down and 10. The pass is completed down to the sidelines for a gain of 8. Once again to Cole Shepard. Shepard's 2nd reception of the game. And quickly, the Dolphins will get back up to the line. And this is a team that tonight, even though they spread it, they're going to use that size advantage. This is a 6A school. They've got more players, a little bit bigger than the Northview Chief team. They want to win in the trenches, Josh, with that offensive line. And this is going to be key. 3rd down. 3rd down conversion rates, time of possession. You win those, usually you win the football game.
Well, the key for Northview is shooting the gaps like they just did there on that play. When you have an offense like Gulf Breeze, you actually have a lot of spacing with your offensive linemen. They leave big gaps. So you beat them by being quicker to the gap, not letting them block. And when they try to pick up that quick 3rd down, it's tougher. Now, they were able to break the tackle there and pick up the Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st down and move the chains.
And that will bring up a 1st down and 10. Nice read option there by Phelps. faking the handoff to Covell. He's going down deep and just out of the reach of number 12, Cole Shepard. That will bring up 2nd down and 10. But, Josh, not a bad idea right there. If you're going to take a shot downfield, first down, never a bad chance to do so.
Right, and he had actually beaten the corner and the safety in that zone defense there. Oh, man, look at that gorgeous sunset. It is beautiful out here in Northview, up in here in Brant, Florida. Long drive, but, man, we had some good food earlier and a great game tonight.
Yeah, you get out here to the countryside, and I'll tell you what, you get a view like that. You just sit back here. We're in the top of the booth. Take the little things for granted every day, but we're here on Friday night, and to get a view like that, about as sweet as it gets.
Amen.
Well, we're here set to go here on 3rd down now as the Dolphins continue to move the football. 8:41 remaining in the first quarter, still scoreless, and there is, it looks like, motion on the play. So they do pick up the first down, but we'll wait for the flag, as actually 2 flags down on the field. So we'll wait for the refs to make the official call. And we'll send it down to the field as the refs discuss here. The pickup was good enough for a first down, moving it down to the 25, but let's see if it stands.
Yeah, a lot of times, Chad, on these spread offenses, you may get an illegal shift, more than one guy in motion at the same time in the backfield. That is a typical play here. Let's see what the ref has to say.
We'll get a illegal substitution on the defense. Penalty is declined. Results of the play, first down.
Well, there you go. Illegal substitution, so the Dolphins will decline the penalty and start fresh here, trying to enter the Papa John's delivery zone for the first time tonight, as they're just a couple yards away. A reminder, use the promo code RIVALS for $7.77 pizzas, 2 large, 2 toppings, $7.77 each with promo code RIVALS.
I know what I'm having for dinner tomorrow.
Pizza for lunch, pizza for dinner, pizza for dessert.
And breakfast.
That's a good life right there.
It is. Have you had that cookie from Papa John's?
It's a good life that you can live till probably about 50 years old. And
that's right.
Yeah, he had one heck of a life. He ate pizza the rest of his life. But nice move, and it will bring it down into the Papa John's delivery zone as use that promo code RIVALS, $7.77 for 2 large pizzas, 2 toppings each, $7.77. So the ball moved down to the 14-yard line as Gulf Breeze now into the Papa John's delivery zone, looking to score here the first touchdown tonight with Tyler Phelps at quarterback. Spread 4 wide, looking to throw downfield. He has an open receiver and a great catch, and then he lost the football. Now, the ref came in immediately and said that he never had possession. That was intended for the wide receiver coming across the middle, number 22, Logan Green, the junior, but a great hit from the secondary. Nice play inside. Once again, Luke Ward and Greg Presley in on the hit.
Well, and you're seeing this Gulf Breeze offense really roll. They actually had an opportunity to score there. They can put up points, but what I'm worried about is they have a lot of guys going 2 ways on this team. They may wear out. Now, against this Northview team that's not able to substitute, you saw them with too many men on the field. They're not able to substitute as quickly as they'd like or as deeply as they'd like. We'll see how they match up.
Phelps back 4 wide, has an open receiver down to the sidelines, and close there to right there. It is going to bring up a 3rd down and goal. Actually, I believe he did pick up the first down, so he has a first down now inside the 5-yard line. That pass was completed to number 3, Walter Yates. First down and goal for the Gulf Breeze Dolphins. The fake handoff, and Phelps is going to take it himself into the end zone for 6, and the Dolphins are the first on the board.
Yeah, and you saw that. They spread everything out. You got Northview on their heels. You have them having defensive gaps. And like Coach Neiman said earlier in the week, he's just looking for that piece of green grass as we look on the Bob Tyler Toyota instant replay. They're just looking for that green grass out there as they line up to go for 2, something that they've done. They actually only have 1 field goal on the season. They go for 2 quite often here, but there is a flag down.
And once again, using the big guys inside, the guys like Josh Learned, Kyle Margaret, Seth Chase inside. Nice job there by Nick Luker. The offensive line, Tommy Garrity, and all of them just really opening up that hole for Phelps. That's going to be one of the keys. We talked about it before the game and the Ace Unlocks keys of the game. And I felt like Gulf Breeze to win this game, although they like to spread the football, they're going to pass it. They've got to go right up the middle to try to get the big play.
And the kick is up. And good as we head to a commercial break here on Friday Night Rivals on WFGX.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals here on WFGX as we take a look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam and all the great fans out here for tonight's game. Gulf Breeze bringing the visiting fans over here. Pretty long drive from Gulf Breeze, about an hour and 15 minutes, as well as the fans here at home for Northview. A beautiful night. We just saw the nice sunset, and the Gulf Breeze Dolphins, the first ones on the board with a touchdown run by Tyler Phelps. And the kick is away. Luke Ward back to receive, and this one will go as a touchback. So it looks like Northview will start things off here at the 20-yard line. And Josh, looking at this Northview team after the first drive, what do you see this offense needing to do to try to tie this game up?
Timing. It's all about timing, Chad. I saw them get some things that looked like they had openings, but they were either slipping or the quarterback was behind on a handoff. They also tried to do maybe too much. We saw a couple of double handoffs in the backfield. I think if they straight up ran the ball right at Gulf Breeze, they may be able to pick up those chunks of yards and pick up an Academy Sports and Outdoors first down.
Led by senior quarterback Gavin Grant, who hands the football off, but really nowhere to go. Good job breaking a few tackles there by Tony Harrison, the junior running back, and he brings it out now for a second down and 8.
Chad, you're going to see a lot of their players not just play wide receiver or halfback. They're going to move these guys around. You're going to see Ward in the backfield a little bit, get some carries. You're going to see Harrison get some carries, but you're also going to see these guys spread out and catch balls like you see right now. Ward all the way at the bottom of the screen, spread wide, but he's also a halfback.
Second down and 8. Nice pass there by Grant, but it is dropped out of the hands of wide receiver Luke Ward. And it will bring up now a 3rd down and 8 here for the Chiefs offense.
That is your classic heard the footsteps. He knew that there was a defender right behind him. He had his eye on the ball. Ball was delivered perfectly, and he just let that one go because the defender was right there.
So big 3rd down here as the Chiefs don't want to get down too early, as we said. Smaller roster of only 45 players, and this Gulf Breeze team being physical already on that first drive. So they want to try to move the football up and stay in it here at home. That reception is going to be short of a first down. They're going to check the chains. It's right there, and this is going to be right there. It looks like they're looking things over, and they've decided to move the chains here for a first down. Yeah, it was really close.
Stabler, after he caught that, still fought for the yardage there, and I think the spot was accurate, and I think he was right there on the line. They looked down at the chains, and they pick up the Academy Sports and Outdoors first down.
Nice catch there by Stabler, and we talked about it. Coach Sid Wheatley talking about the senior quarterbacks. We'll talk more about the Northview Chiefs offense when we come back on Friday Night Rivals. After the Chiefs offense moved the chains, it brings up first down now as Grant behind center looking to move the Chiefs here down 7-0 early on.
And that straight ahead run game out of that double wing that they ran so effectively last year, as they try to transition to the spread, they're still not abandoning that tight power run game there, and it picked up a couple of yards. I think that might be effective against this Gulf Breeze front.
You know, you look at both these teams, Josh, Coach Wheatley and Coach Nemeth, very innovative in using trick plays. You're going to see a lot of plays like that, always trying to outwit their opponent. And that was just your common run up the middle, but you had 4 or 5 guys trying to fake out the defensive front of the Dolphins. Nice stop right here on a second down. Nowhere to go. In on the tackle, checking in number 11, Ben Dobry. Nice play by the junior defensive back, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and you're seeing Gulf Breeze a little quicker to the ball. They're a faster team. Again, that may be because they're deeper from being 6A, and that is something that Northview had a problem with against Crestview. They really couldn't handle defensive or offensive speed from the opposing team.
Well, you got to just give credit to Northview for playing these opponents and continue to battle. This has been a powerhouse and a team that's been to the state championship just a few years back here in Class 1A, as the pass incomplete, and that's going to bring up now a 4th down as the Chiefs have a decision to make.
Yeah, Chad, this is one of those teams that, yes, they may have gotten beaten by Crestview, and right now it looks like Gulf Breeze has the handle on them early, but this is a 1A team. These are not the type of schools they're going to be going up against even in the playoffs. So this is really a good litmus test early in the season to get these guys warmed up for maybe even a state run later in the season. They were state champs, as you said, a couple of years ago.
Big 4th down conversion right there. That's not the easiest play to go inside the 35 of your own right there, but making the play and down the field to number 10, Nikhil Robinson. Big time catch. As we take a look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, that was a nice play by quarterback. Poise, cool, calm, and collective as Gavin Grant picks up the Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st down. And for the first time tonight, the Chiefs inside Dolphins territory. 1st down handoff as the ball's handoff nowhere to go as Tony Harrison picks up 3 on the game.
Yeah, they're really having trouble running the ball. I have seen Grant delivering the ball on time and on location. He's just had a couple of drops out there, so I think maybe the passing game may become more of an option as we get here. Looking at picking up just 1 yard every time they run the ball, they may have to throw the ball a little bit earlier.
And the Chiefs have a lot of speed. That's one thing that a lot of their opponents have talked about, their elusive speed. The problem is getting the key blocks, and so far this Gulf Breeze defensive front has got a good push towards the line on every play. Nice run up the middle once again, handoff to Harrison. This time Harrison charges forward, and it will bring up now a 3rd down and short, picking up 5 on the run.
Well, we were just talking about that offensive line. They were able to hit their gaps pretty quickly, and on that counter play, it froze the linebackers so that they didn't actually have a good read on which hole he was going to be hitting. So a little bit of misdirection out of the backfield, picks up a good gain.
Big 3rd down coming up here once again, and the pass is completed. And nice play on the outside to Luke Ward, as that will be enough for a 1st down. It looks like they're going to check things out here as the referee's checking to see if he has enough. This is right by the marker here, Josh. But it seems like so far, having a quarterback like Grant, we talked about it, lost 2 of his key targets in Keandre Lett and Cameron Newsom from last season. But Luke Ward has stepped up as his favorite target, and that was good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, and that was a little receiver bubble screen, which they actually set up again on this play. Didn't have it open, but that's usually where you have a guy, another wide receiver in front of you, ready to block for you downfield. You get it passed to them right there at the line, and they pick up some yardage. They had it set up there, but the defensive backfield for Gulf Breeze read that perfectly.
Nice play inside by Matthew Hawkins, the linebacker, the sophomore linebacker for the Gulf Breeze Dolphins, in on the tackle, as well as Liam Gessler. Gessler, one of the keys to that defensive front. 2nd down and 14 as Grant fakes the pass. Nice juke move, but can't go anywhere. And he'll go back to the line of scrimmage, which will bring up 3rd down and long. And so far, this Dolphins defense has been up to the task here in the last 2 plays.
Well, he's taking too long, Grant is, on delivering the ball on some of these plays. He's trying to get them set up, trying to get some of these backfield screens to the wide receiver set up, but he's hanging on to the ball too long. A lot of times in these quick offenses, the spread offense, you're delivering the ball in maybe 3.5 seconds. He's holding on to the ball too long, and his offensive line can't hold the block that long.
Just under 3 minutes to play here in the 1st quarter. Gulf Breeze scored on their 1st possession, the 2nd possession for the Chiefs here tonight. And a nice tackle all over the pass as the completion out to Devin Stabler. But on top of that one was Clark Huguette, who made the great play, the senior defensive back.
Yeah, he read that perfectly. A beautiful form tackle. They picked up maybe a yard on that, and that brings up 4th down. Now, looks like they're going to keep going for it. They picked up that 4th down last time. You might as well do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to go for it at your own 35, you might as well go for it on your opponent's 38. And this is a play. It's going to bring back about 4th down and about 13 on this play as they go downfield. An open receiver and just out of the reach, had an open man. Jacob Dunsford tried to slide back, but we talked about it earlier. With the wet grass from earlier, just couldn't keep his toes into the turf, and unfortunately, that's going to be a turnover as the Gulf Breeze Dolphins take over possession.
But what I liked there from Grant, he had a defender right in his face, and that ball was there. It was just a little bit short, but man, he had all sorts of pressure right in his face, and he was there ready to roll. What I noticed, though, as this ball turned over, I didn't see a lot of the players from Northview turn over. And that's where some of this depth is going to come into play.
So the Dolphins take over for the second time, 4 wide, and that pass is picked off, going the other way, back to the house, and he is in for 6. Touchdown, Tony Harrison.
Well, when you have an offensive weapon sitting there playing defensive back, you know the old adage, he's only on defense because he can't play. As you look here on the Bob Teller Toyota replay, man, this boy can catch it. He can run. He shows off the wheels, takes it to the house for the touchdown after interception.
Fans tomahawk chopping up here as the Chiefs get the first touchdown. And 2 tough possessions. You move the ball down methodically, 2 4th downs, and then on one play, you get into the end zone. As Coach Wheatley, you got to be breathing a little easier on the sidelines after that one.
Well, you know, their offense, they're almost there. But that defense stood tall right there. They really showed some of their team speed as we're waiting for the kicking tee to get out. And a timeout on the extra point for Northview.
And you look at this with Gulf Breeze, it's a team that likes to move quick up the field. As we take a look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam and the Northview Chiefs fans out here on this Friday night supporting their team before the game. They had the pregame 9/11 to remember all the fallen troops, fallen victims 14 years ago in the terrorist attacks. And it was just a great ceremony overall. A lot of emotional fans out here. And now they're ready for football. And the excitement has been in this first quarter about as good as it gets after Northview getting that touchdown. But that's huge because you look at the way Gulf Breeze moved the football in that first drive. If they're able to move down, take a 14-0 lead, especially as you talked about, Josh, with only 45 players, it's a game where you know later on the fatigue's going to set in. To get that early touchdown, to get the momentum back, such a big play there by Tony Harrison.
Yeah, the Northview side, they're going to be winded the entire game. Now, they need to either be winded and happy or winded with their shoulders down. And after coming away with 6 points as they missed the extra point there, that 6 was huge because that gives them a little bit of motivation on the sidelines.
So the touchdown's good. The wobbling kick is no good. And it's still down by 1 point, but still a big touchdown there. The interception by Tony Harrison. And we're looking at a situation now that you know that Gulf Breeze on the sidelines is saying, okay, you know what? You might see a couple more running plays. They were able to win inside, whether it was with Phelps or handing the ball off to Covell. I think on this possession, I wouldn't be shocked if you see a couple more running of plays from this Dolphins offense.
Yeah, you got to build Phelps' confidence, and he is a confident quarterback. He's poised. He stands there in the pocket very well, and he's got that short memory like in a quarterback. But anytime you turn the ball over for a quick touchdown, you really want to see a confidence builder, if you will. I would not be surprised to see a run up the middle, a draw play from the quarterback, or maybe even one of these short passes to get him a completion under his belt to build his confidence back up and get that offense back on track.
Kicking off for the Chiefs for the first time tonight will be Jared Aliff as Aliff squib kick out to the 20-yard line as Gulf Breeze receiving it. Number 12, Cole Shepard. And Shepard breaks one, spin move, and taken down after a nice 25-yard return out to the 40-yard line as the Dolphins will start off with good field position.
Yeah, was that the B button there, trying to get that spin move? We saw that from Ohio State on Monday night, and he tried it, got wrapped up. But, man, nice return. They're going to start with great field position, better than they did on the last drive. And here they are spread out, 4 guys wide, one in the backfield, ready to roll as Northview's still trying to substitute there.
Nice B-move spin right there.
Madden did just come out after all. I'm not saying that I haven't propped my daughter up on the couch and played a little Madden trying to get her to learn what a
Sure,
halfback
Josh.
screen
Use
is.
your daughter as an excuse to play Madden.
That's it. She likes the movement on the screen.
First down run up the middle for a gain of 2 yards. Handing off to Tristan Covell. Covell with over 300 yards on the ground this year and 3 touchdowns. And we talked about their first 2 games. They played against Choctawhatchee and against the Catholic Crusaders, your former team. And when you look at the way that they played, they were in both these games. The offense moved the football, just disappointing endings, and that's why they're at 0-2.
Well, like Coach Nemeth said, they got gassed at the end of that Catholic game. He had a lot of guys who he relied on his star power a lot last week. And that got them burnt towards the end of the game, as the Northview crowd is excited about that tackle right there, a gain of a couple of yards. But he said that this week he really worked on getting 2 players at just about every position, getting these guys worked in, and bringing people from the other side of the ball as kind of a backup position to even give a little bit more of a breather on the on both sides of the ball. That way, when it comes to the fourth quarter, these guys aren't worn out.
Phelps tackled on the read option by number 22, senior linebacker Isaiah Dunn. Nice play by Dunn, bringing up a 3rd down, and the pass to the sidelines. Nice attempt there to try to make the play was Cole Shepard, but incomplete, and that will bring up a 4th down, and it looks like they're bringing on the punting unit.
Yeah, and he tried one of those bootleg plays where you flood 2 or 3 wide receivers to the same side. He has a couple of options, but as a defense, Northview read that perfectly, and they just stacked up defenders where it didn't really give him an open passing lane.
Coming up tonight after the game, it will be Prep Football Final with Dan Shugart and Steve Nissom. That'll be at 11 o'clock following tonight's game to turn over to WEAR Channel 3. As the kick, good job of collecting and just getting a kick off. Nice job there by Trey Wright, the punter. And it is picked up, and it's going the other way. All the way down the sidelines, it's Luke Ward. Ward's got a block, and he's into the end zone for 6. It looked like the play was dead out of bounds, but Ward picking it up and high-stepping into the end zone for 6.
And look at the sideline going wild as we look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay. The snap goes high. Great job by the punter there to collect it and get the ball away. Luke Ward kind of just casually watched that bounce, picked it up, and realized there is nobody in front of him. He had daylight the entire way, had 1 block picked up, and Luke Ward, the junior wide receiver and running back, also the A-plus athlete of the week, smart kid too. He puts them on top, and now we're looking at a little bit of a different game. A 3.85 GPA.
And he used his intellectual smarts on that play. As you can tell, Walter Yates was a guy that just decided, it looked like he thought the ball was going out of bounds. So did everybody watching the game. But Luke Ward able to pick that one up and run it back. What a great play, Josh. And now they're going to talk things over. It's still early in this game, but after missing the extra point, they're going to try to go for 2, it looks like, to try to make this once again a 7-point game.
Well, it looked like Northview actually had some personnel problems trying to get the kicking game going. Maybe they're using a backup kicker or a backup holder. They didn't even have the kicking tee out there. They had the wrong personnel on the field the last time and then had a short kick on the extra point there, so I wouldn't blame them for going for 2 here.
14 seconds remaining in a wild first quarter. We talked about both of these offense being able to move the football. But the difference in this game hasn't been the offense. It's been the key plays, the individual key plays. And that has really been the toughest part about Gulf Breeze all season, and even back to last year when we called their game against Choctawhatchee, a team that has just been plagued by the big play. Coach Nemeth has talked about it, Josh, where they just can't get a break when it comes to making that one play. They'll move the ball 90 yards just to see something crazy happen. As that ball is botched, it's still going here. Sort of a bad news Bears play as it rolls back out to the 25-yard line and finally recovered by Gulf Breeze, but it's not going to matter as the 2-point conversion has failed, and Northview with not a common score but a 12-7 lead right now with 14 seconds to play here in the first.
And, that Northview squad is they're pepped up. They're ready to fight there on the sideline, and they are rolling. And that Gulf Breeze team, like you mentioned, maybe has a discipline problem or maybe a fatigue problem even earlier up in this game. As we look towards the sideline to kick it down to the third member of our team. Ricky, what does that Northview sideline look like after that play? I saw them up and down all over the place. What did you see down there?
Well, we saw this crowd electric. Go ahead and take a look at the crowd. Right now, they're very calm as they get back on the field. But this team, I'm telling you, they are pumped up, and so is the crowd. But I wanted to tell you all, if you tell your friends, tell your family, if you go on to WEARTV.com, you can click on the sports tab, and there's Friday Night Rivals right there. Anyone can watch this, so encourage everyone to go online and watch. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky. As the kick goes out of bounds, that'll bring it out to the 35 as we start off, well, end up the first quarter here. We still have 14.3 seconds left in this first quarter.
Not a bad idea, though, when you have Cole Shepard back there.
Ball will be placed on the 35-yard line.
The kick will be placed at the 35, but already Gulf Breeze has shown with their special teams they can move it up last time, returning it out to the 40. But like Ricky was talking about, you can watch the game right now, checking it online, checking it out on WFGX, and tomorrow the replay of the game at 8 a.m.
That's right. We play the game in its entirety 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you don't have a DVR and you maybe missed the beginning of this game.
Nice run for the first down, and it looks like that'll be just about time. They'll stop the clock to move the chains here with 7 seconds left. But a big first down run by Tyler Phelps. And tell you what, Josh, tonight Tyler's really been up to the task running the football. He has been doing a great job on this read option.
Well, no matter what happens with Gulf Breeze, you see him calm. He didn't get down after throwing that interception. Like we said, we weren't surprised at seeing his first play be a run up the middle, get him some confidence back there as that ends the first quarter. But he is a confident player as we head to the second quarter with Northview up 12-7 here on Friday Night Rivals on WFGX.
And welcome back to Friday Night Rivals on WFGX. It's the Northview Chiefs with a 12-7, that's right, 12-7 lead here. They have failed on the extra point, but able to get 2 touchdowns, none offensively. An interception, pick six back to the house. But before we talk about the score, going all the way, breaking a couple tackles and taking it down inside the Papa John's delivery zone. What a run by Tristan Covell as he's able to break 3 tackles and move the ball 40 yards for this Gulf Breeze Dolphins team.
If you look at this replay, he broke 4 tackles right there, and he kept going. There's a 5th tackle, little stiff arm, and he was finally brought down inside the Papa John's delivery zone. Don't forget to use that promo code RIVALS. 2 pizzas, 2 toppings, $7.77 a piece as Gulf Breeze back on the ball.
Nice pass up the middle as the Gulf Breeze Dolphins offense looking to calm things down a little. Nice pass there to Phelps over the middle to Cole Shepard, and this will move it inside the 5-yard line. And we were talking earlier, 2 touchdowns by the Chiefs, 1 pick six, and the other a punt return. So no offensive touchdowns. The closest they've been is actually the Gulf Breeze 40 in the first quarter as Phelps is able to move the football. He's over by the pylon, and it is good for the touchdown. He's in as the Gulf Breeze Dolphins reclaim the lead on a quick drive that only took 37 seconds here in the second quarter.
They can put up points whenever they want to, and it's, again, like we talked about as we look at the replay there from the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, Phelps just right up the middle. Their offensive line isn't that tough, blow you off the ball offensive line. They are all about, again, creating space as they rush up the middle for the 2-point conversion. That's Covell again with the 2-point conversion, making it 15-12. That's a crazy score here in high school football as we go to commercial break here on Friday Night Rivals on WFGX.
It's the Dolphins up 15-12 here on Friday Night Rivals, week 3 of the regular season. Both these teams looking for their first win, and you can tell with the energy and excitement in tonight's crowd. It was the Chiefs that got off to the 12-7 lead at the end of the first, but the Dolphins striking back quickly with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And that was one of the best drives we've seen all season here on Friday Night Rivals.
Yeah, and Chad, what you're going to look for Northview now, it's all about getting into a rhythm. Gulf Breeze does this with ease. They are right back on the ball. They're ready to play right as you see Luke Ward making that cut backwards as he loses the ball. And that may be Gulf Breeze ball inside the delivery zone.
And it is. Gulf Breeze recovering, and they're going to have the ball inside the Chiefs' 5-yard line. Luke Ward trying to get creative there as we take a look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay. Try to make a couple cuts like a Percy Harvin there in the back, but at the end of the day, just one too many. And when you're trying to elude 4 or 5 different guys, somebody can come up from behind and pop the ball out. And this time, that's exactly what happened. Nice play. Actually, Luke Solagi on the play right there. He was the one that knocked it out, forced the fumble, and recovered. So good job there by Cool Hand Luke. And now a 3-point lead, and it looks like Gulf Breeze trying to add some more.
Man, they worked on some motivational techniques earlier in the week that you saw Ricky talking about earlier on in the game. And maybe that's working from Coach Namath here. In just a minute, we're going to send it down to Ricky. She's got a little bit more about remembering what happened here in the
and a touchdown. Tyler Phelps in for 6 once again. And Josh, you can see right now the fatigue for the defensive front kicking in just a bit for Northview right there as Phelps had a wide open hole. A very physical offensive line that has been working tough all season long. And Gulf Breeze now with a 21-12 lead pending the extra point, and it looks like they're going to go for 2 points here to try to add on this 9-point lead, and it's good. The pass to the tight end, Jake Nemeth. Nice job by the junior as Jake Nemeth, a big target, 6'1", 220 pounds, and the son of Coach Chris Nemeth. So got to make Pops proud on that one. Able to build the lead out now to 23-12, and just like that, only a minute ago, we were sitting here, and it was Northview in front of the home crowd here in Bratt, Florida, with a 5-point lead, and it seems like just one blink of the eye, and it's an 11-point lead for the Dolphins.
And, yeah, you look at Northview, and like we said earlier, they don't have a JV team. They only have 45 football players total in the entire school, so they're not a really deep team. And like you said, the fatigue factor is kicking in here. And as we're getting set for kickoff, we are looking down on the sideline, seeing if Ricky Van may be ready to go here in just a moment. And she's not as we're getting set for kickoff. That is on me here. And Ricky, can you tell us a little bit more about what was going on in the remembrance of 9/11 today here in Bratt, Florida?
Well, it was wonderful. Everyone's focus was on the middle of the field as they gave the colors, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful remembrance because you got to remember these high school students, they weren't there to actually see the Twin Towers go down, which was an awful sight to see. We all remember where we were on that day, but these high school players, they were 2 and 3 years old when that happened. But when you come back out, I want to show you something with the Walnut Hill Fire Department. There you go. The Walnut Hill Fire Department right there. They have the American flag up tonight. They come out to all the games, also the Century Fire Department. But tonight, they have the American flag.
Thank you, Ricky. And like we talked about earlier, Gulf Breeze actually, Coach Nemeth was showing his team scenes and clips from 9/11 because, like she said, some of these guys were 2 and 3 years old. They don't really remember the scope of 9/11, and he was using that as a little bit of a motivational technique. He was saying maybe, look, those guys were real heroes, and this is just high school football, but we can take a little bit of a lesson from the heroes of that day and maybe build some team chemistry here on that as Northview going backwards on their first play from scrimmage on this drive.
Yeah, number 12, Desmond Moore tackled in the backfield, and that will bring up a 2nd down and 14 after a tough play right there. And this is a team right now just trying to figure things out offensively, still have not been able to score, led by senior quarterback, still trying to get it going. Gavin Grant, nice pass, this could be the play, and there's the speed right there, off to the races, Michael Robinson. We're getting run down, amazing speed coming from behind, number 25, Clark Kogut. But at the end of the day, it's good for 65 yards, and just like that, the Chiefs battling back.
Yeah, they may not be as deep of a team, but they have a lot of playmakers on this team. Like we talked about, Gavin Grant really worked on team chemistry with these wide receivers, really trying to get their timing down. And I think whenever they are on schedule, whenever these guys are getting their timing down for the routes as we bring up the Academy, Sports and Outdoors 1st and 10, I think they can be a serious weapon here on offense.
Nice tackle by Kogut. And in the backfield trying to make a play is Grant, but there's that swarming Dolphins D all over it. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Nice play in on the tackle by number 15, Chase Blake, and number 28, Scott Weaver.
The one thing I see from Grant that he can maybe improve on, and he is really the key to this offense, is maybe making the decision a little earlier, who he's going to throw the ball to or what hole he's going to hit. You see him dance there a little bit back in the backfield even when he knows it's a designed run play, and that allows these quick Gulf Breeze defenders to get swarmed to the ball.
Grant 4 wide. The pass quickly out to Robinson. Once again, Robinson breaking a couple tackles down the sidelines, and he is into the end zone for 6. Robinson from Grant. The connection works again, and the Chiefs battle back once again after the sophomore receiver makes his 4th reception here tonight.
Well, Chad, if you looked at this game on paper, a 6A school as we look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, delivering that ball on time, and you get the touchdown there from the lanky receiver. If you looked at this on paper, you had a 1A school versus a 6A school, and it didn't really add up. This Northview squad should be outmanned, outmatched, and Gulf Breeze should be able to rotate guys in all day long against them. But you're seeing a spirited Northview squad, and like you said, they really are a powerhouse in 1A, showing what they got, showing their mettle here, and keeping this a game.
And really, when you look at it here, they're down 23-18 as we take a look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam. You got the beach ball that just hit somebody in the trombone section, and, that's part of the game. It's all fun. You can't go to a sporting event and not expect the beach ball to be there and be popped at one point during the game. It wouldn't be a sporting event. But Vince Wibbs fan cam showing all the fans up there tomahawk chopping for the Chiefs. And really the difference right now in the game is the 2-point conversions. So far right now, the Chiefs have scored 3 times, but only got 6 out of it. If they were able to get 8 or 7 a few times as Gulf Breeze, same number of touchdowns, 3 each. The difference right now is 5 points.
Yeah, and you're seeing some confusion when they run out there on the field for the 2-point conversion or the point extra attempt. You're not really seeing them cohesively, and it's early in the season. This is only their 2nd game, and typically what you see, especially in high school, is that special teams are like the last thing that they work on. That's something that they really work on, getting that offense set, getting everything in there on defense, and then, oh, hey, by the way, there's some special teams, and special teams develops over time. And when you have a young team like this, maybe sometimes there's some errors on special teams there that you wouldn't see maybe from an experienced squad or later in the season as we get set to kick off here.
And the pooch kick out to the 25, and that's all it's going to be as the kick was collected. Good job collecting it by number 32, Nate Herrick, the 5'8 sophomore, and that's where Gulf Breeze will take over at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, they don't want to kick it to any of their weapons. They've seen what they can do as a return unit. So your options are either kick it short to one of the guys who's maybe not used to handling the ball, or you kick it out of bounds and hope for the best there. But then again, you could get a return when you got somebody not having a heads-up play like we saw Northview score on earlier on that punt.
Well, let's just be real here. The pace of this game, we really can't break down. It's one of those type of games that you sit back and just when it looks like Gulf Breeze was about to take over, it just all of a sudden 90 yards down the field just like that, Northview scores. When Northview came up and the momentum was in their favor, they come out in the first half. Everybody's excited after the first quarter with that 5-point lead. Gulf Breeze puts up 11 points in a minute. So this game, when you're trying to break down some type of pattern, I'm just going to sit back as a fan of the game and watch a great football game with two teams. Now they've combined for 41 points with still 9 minutes remaining in the second half. In the second quarter.
Great tackling there. You saw the pressure in the backfield. Phelps gets rid of the ball. No gain there, but you had a great open field tackle there by the Northview defense. And that brings up that 3rd down. They may be taking over on downs here in just a moment, and that momentum may swing again. I'm comparing this to Rocky and Apollo Creed. I didn't think Northview would be able to come out here, but man, they are throwing some haymakers here as Gulf Breeze looks to pick up the 1st down, and they do.
What a great reach right there, as first short of the 1st down marker was Cole Shepard, but the 5'10 junior receiver able to pull it up for the 1st down, stretching out for 12 yards on the completion by Tyler Phelps. And once again, Gulf Breeze in the no-huddle offense. They'll spread 4 wide, 1 running back set. Tyler Phelps, he's looked cool in the pocket here tonight and looking to try to get this ball into Chiefs territory on their own 34-yard line.
Yeah, I see a lot of leadership from Phelps here on the Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st down as he runs the ball up the middle. Good gain there.
And Phelps right now, Josh, seems very comfortable running that read option play because last year we talked about Josh Irby. Irby was a guy that went to Evangel College and was one of the best running backs in the whole area. Now this year, Tristan Covell comes in, and you can still see that chemistry. Phelps was the starting quarterback last year, and the junior right now, you can see the progress that he's made. So far in 3 games, the offense has gotten better each and every game. It hasn't been the offense when you look at the games against Choctawhatchee and Catholic. And the handoff here to Covell on second down. Covell using that speed, breaking one tackle, and off to the races inside the Chiefs' 45-yard line, down to the 43.
Well, what you're seeing from Phelps is, number one, he's got a great feel for the field. He's looking out there. Their whole offense, as we look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, his whole offense is based around spacing. And he looks for the space where the space is going to be, not where it is. And he gets the ball where it needs to be, whether it's taking the ball himself or handing the ball off, as we have a whistle here on first down, the Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st and 10. But Phelps is really reading the defense. He's being patient, but he also is making snap decisions as Northview calls a timeout here.
Timeout before the flag there. They had 12 men on the field, and real quickly, Coach Wheatley saw that and made the play real quick. That's why he's going to talk things over real quickly with this Chiefs defense. And that's one of the things, when you play a football game, Josh, we both did in high school, you get tired, fatigued. You're going, especially when you're going up against athletes that come from a larger school. You're playing a 6A opponent. You're 1A in Northview, and you only have 45 players. When you play on both sides of the football, guys like Luke Ward, Tony Harrison, the running back that we saw with the great pick 6 earlier, it's only a matter of time before the fatigue does sit in. And when you look at this, you're seeing a team that they need this water break. Every kid's got one of those blue water bottles down the sidelines, and they're saying, look, thank you, Coach. And not a bad timeout to take when it looked like Gulf Breeze was building that momentum. You want to keep this within a one-score game.
Well, and, you know, one of the things that you look at when you have a fatigued team is they actually make those little mental errors. And when Gulf Breeze is running such a precision offense, little mental errors can cost you big time. They can give up a first down or even a bigger play like we saw in that last play on the read option from Covell, who breaks a tackle, and he keeps running there.
Stiff arm there. Covell's not the biggest guy back there, but he is not afraid to take it at any of his opponents, as Covell, only 5'9", 160, the defensive back, quarterback, and running back. Covell does just about everything. As the second down handoff up the middle, Covell able to break the tackle and takes it for a first down. Academy Sports and Outdoors first down, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, and you saw Covell actually in at quarterback on that last 2-point conversion. He's got a decent arm, found the big target there to pick up the 2-point conversion. So, again, you're seeing a lot of guys who can play a lot of positions from both teams, and that's where that fatigue may come in.
And Josh, it seems shocking right now, but we've seen a drive here that's taken over 2 minutes. It hasn't been that type of football game, but as Gulf Breeze moving the football, still in no huddle, but sometime coming off the clock, it is 6:34 remaining in the second quarter. If you're just tuning in, Northview was able to score a defensive touchdown and a punt return after Gulf Breeze scored on the first possession. Northview took a 12-7 lead, and then in the second quarter, Gulf Breeze scored in a minute, 50 yards down the field with a Tyler Phelps run up the middle, and then they were able to recover on the Luke Ward fumble on the kick return, and Phelps once again up the middle for the touchdown, and the Jake Nemeth 2-point conversion. That's where we stand right now, 23-18, Gulf Breeze, even though they both have 3 touchdowns with a 5-point lead here with 6:20 remaining.
Yeah, and you saw Phelps on that last play. He had nobody open. You had 4 wide receivers, and even Covell was kind of coming up to be that bailout there. But Northview swarmed that defense. However, you're starting to see their safeties creep up, so you got to look for that big play over the top from Phelps.
Third down, big third down, and you got to look at it from here, right around the 30-yard line, that this is probably 4-down territory for the Dolphins.
As Phelps changes the play at the line.
And it looks like this could be a halfback pass, and it is over the top, down the sidelines, and just out of the hands. He had it for a second. What a great design play, and it looked like it was going to be into the end zone for 6. As we take a look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, Phelps to Covell in the backfield, and over the top, just in and out of the hands. It would have been an incredible catch, but that's one right there that you know Kendall Gallagher, the 5'10 senior wide receiver, would have loved. That's the kind of play that you go back to school on Monday, and the kids in the hallway are like, dude, did you see that?
Yeah, he'll be yelling at his hands all weekend.
Yes, he will be.
And but that's the type of play you see when you have two quarterbacks in the backfield as one just throws to the other. And Covell drops the pass there on 4th down.
So the Chiefs come up with a big stop there on the 4th down as the Chiefs will take over possession. Down 5 here on Friday Night Rivals, WFGX. And welcome back to Friday Night Rivals here on WFGX as we take a look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam. For more on tonight's game, Ricky at the sidelines.
Hey guys, well, we're having a great time at the sidelines, and I have this football. It's not a spirit stick, it's a spirit football. Now, all of the players at Northview have signed the ball, and at the end of the 3rd quarter, they're going to throw the ball into the stands, and then someone gets to take this home tonight. So, super cool. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky. I'd like to take it home, so if you guys can maybe throw it right here in this window. I know that's a tough shot there, but Ricky, I know you got a good arm.
Confident in it, but that's a really far ways.
I don't know. She's been warming up on the sidelines, folks.
That's a signed football right there. You don't want it up here. Once it touches our hands, Josh, it depreciates real quickly there. So that looks like it's worth some value as the Chiefs looking to use this opportunity after stopping the Gulf Breeze Dolphins inside the 30. And a big pass over the middle. What a pass there, just out of the hands, and an interception. What a ridiculous play there by the Dolphins defense as a pass that thread the needle by Gavin Grant in and out of the hands of Robinson. And
they're calling
now
it
they're
incompletion.
talk things over and say an incomplete pass. But what a great defensive try there. Perfect pass right over the middle. You can't get
right on
better
the money.
accuracy. But you can see there once again on the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, the ball did roll out of the fingertips. And trying to come up with that was Connor Niederar, and it would have been a great interception.
Well, that was also a great pass delivered on time, just another drop from a Northview wide receiver, and that's really got to frustrate the quarterback.
It'll bring up now 3rd down for the Chiefs offense, down by 5 here, led by their senior quarterback, Grant. Grant making one move, deking the defender and taking it out to the 41-yard line, but he will be short of the 3rd down stick, and it looks like now it'll bring up 4th down. He had to pick up about 8 yards, picked up 4, and it will bring up 4th down, and they'll have another decision to make. But, Josh, we've been seeing it all night, and it looks like the Chiefs offense will stay on the field.
Yeah, I don't see a point in kicking the ball from this point of the field. You're down by 5. You really got to get a moral victory here. They're going to line up jumbo package here. They've actually worked very well with that spread, so let's see what they do here on 4th down.
And it looks like they're going to be very close to the 1st down marker. It was a little bit farther than maybe they thought they had to pick up. They were lined up in what you see a lot of the military academies in that option type triple option threat. But at the same time, they had to pick up about a good 3 yards, and this is going to be very close for the measurement because, Josh, from the bird's eye view up here, it looks like they only got about 2.5.
Well, it's really interesting to look at this because they really are running two completely different offenses. You'll see this a lot. Georgia Tech, one of the top teams in the NCAA, runs a triple option. It may look boring, but, man, they run it so well. It's a precision offense. It's based on a quarterback read. But then they completely change it up to this spread style, the spread option type of game as they pick up the Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st down. That was a long 1.5 yards, and it looks like they picked up 1.75 yards, and that brings up that Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st down. But, yeah, they really are running two completely different offenses. That's a lot to remember for a young quarterback.
Well, I'm going to go away. I'm either getting very tired and my eyesight's not working, or I'm just dead opposite of what the right call is because I've been wrong on almost every call there. That is a 1st down, an Academy Sports and Outdoors 1st down, and we'll move the chains. And I'm just saying, from up here, it looked like at first they didn't pick it up, but you never know. And the sideline, the chain gang doing a good job, and that will bring up now 2nd down after the run up the middle. Nice run there by Tony Harrison.
Yeah, and they ran that play effectively, picking up small chunks of yards versus that spread offense. When they run this double wing option style, they're really looking for that 3.5, 4 yard gain, get into a rhythm, and wear out this defensive front from Gulf Breeze.
Nice trickeration there, but the hand up the middle, not going anywhere. The defensive line for Gulf Breeze doing a great job. The ball came out loose. Now they're going to say the forward momentum was stopped as the referees talked this one over. And this will bring up now 3rd down, saying the forward progress stopped by running back Tony Harrison. In on the tackle, number 50, Anthony Harbison, and number 52, Brandon Williams.
And that officiating crew with Mark Rushell and Cliff Head. You got Paul Schroeds and Justin Luttrell, Michael Black. They've done a great job. I've seen them get some really accurate spots here, and they're being very good, very quick on the whistle on these forward progress plays.
Now spreading 4 wide, 1 running back set as Grant looking for the pass. He finds his favorite receiver, Luke Ward, making one man miss, trying to find a block, but he's not going to have enough room. Great coverage right there, staying in their zone read, the Gulf Breeze defense, and Tyler Dittmer coming in with the tackle.
Well, you saw them try to set up a screen, and that screen is designed to bring the entire defense forward as Gulf Breeze calls a timeout here. But that's designed to bring the defense forward, and that way you can maybe get the ball behind them and set up a little wall there. But Gulf Breeze read that perfectly. They only had one guy really fall for it, and maybe his design and his job in that play is still to rush the quarterback no matter what. So they only had one guy out of position. The entire defense stayed home, and you saw that play go for a loss.
Nice tackle there. Correction, Matthew Hawkins, the linebacker, sophomore linebacker, number 44, in on the tackle. And it'll bring up another 4th down here. Obviously, you expect the Chiefs to go for it here. The game slowed down just a bit. We had 3 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes to start the 2nd quarter, but still 41 combined points here, and we're not even at halftime.
Well, you're looking at 2 coaches that, in Coach Wheatley and
Coach Nemeth.
Coach Nemeth, sorry, there's on the tip of my tongue there. But you're looking at these 2 coaches. They're good X's and O's guys. They're very innovative, like we said earlier. They like to come up with different schemes. So I think maybe you're getting into this chess match of a game. They're starting to figure each other out, and that's why you're seeing Wheatley go back and forth between that double wing setup and your spread. And as they look to set up to punt, something that's new tonight for Northview.
I don't know if anyone in the crowd's actually buying it just yet, but they are going to punt, and that is an actual punt. It does go forward, and the ball looks like it's going to stop at the 34-yard line. So not a bad punt. And the Gulf Breeze Dolphins offense will take over with Tyler Phelps. 2:48 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. A reminder coming up here tonight, Prep Football Final on WEAR. As you can check that out, Channel 3 with Steve Nissom and Dan Shugart going over all the big games, a lot of big games in the area. The Escambia Gators off to a great start this year as they've continued their success. They're actually heading to Catholic, as you can check it out at 11. Prep Football Final, tune in on WEAR, ABC Channel 3. But Josh, so many great teams, and once again, this is going to be an exciting year for Prep Football in the Escambia County area.
Yeah, this whole area is stacked with a lot of talent. I think there was a couple of articles written in the offseason about how we are this hotbed, the unknown hotbed of college football talent. Now I think there's a little bit more of an eye on our region with all these NFL players and a lot of guys in college having a lot of success out of the area. We're starting to see a little bit more recognition for these teams. A lot of times the record doesn't match how good these teams are because they are all fighting and they're all so talented, all playing each other. It's kind of like you see the SEC beats each other up every year. I think a lot of the local talent beats each other up before they get out of here and play in the tournaments.
And the 2nd down pass just over the head of wide receiver Walter Yates will bring up 3rd down and 10. And also now adding football with UWF. Coach Pete Shinnick, they've got their first scrimmage set to go, which is exciting. First scrimmage ever for the Argonauts will be this Saturday at 11 o'clock. But it really gives a lot of these kids an opportunity to stay at home and play football for Division II.
Yeah, used to you had to go to one of the smaller schools, maybe like a Millsaps or something like that, as Phelps runs for the first down. Again, carrying this offense on his shoulders, bringing up the Academy Sports and Outdoors first down. But a lot of these guys, they maybe didn't get the attention, maybe didn't get recruited as heavily out of high school, and they had to go to one of these smaller schools, and they didn't get the attention maybe they deserved. But now they're able to stay home, and again, they're going to play in a great venue until UWF gets their facilities ready. They're going to play at the Bayfront Stadium down there on the water. And I'm looking forward to it. They had their first scrimmage coming up, or that may have been today or tomorrow, the first intra-squad scrimmage here as the timeout is called for Gulf Breeze. 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in the half.
Jared Aliff, he's made a couple big plays for this Chiefs defense today, and once again in on that play. But taking a look at the quarterback, Tyler Phelps, this is a guy that came into the game with 14 carries for negative 13 yards. And tonight already with over 75 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground, he's been elusive, and it's not easy to do because he's not the smallest of guys. This is not your quarterback that you're used to seeing break out a run for 15 yards, 6'1", 190 pounds, a good-sized guy making big plays for his team. That is his 4th third down conversion that he's converted by himself here tonight.
Well, and you talked about his size, but I'm going to talk about his eyes. This guy has great vision. He sees the ball. He sees the field opening up in front of him downfield. And you look at his stats from the year, and he, had some of those plays for losses there. He had negative rushing yards, maybe got sacked a little bit, maybe didn't take those quick reads. He's got a huge improvement where he is making a quick read, finding the hole, and he just takes it where there's no defender there. And that's been really effective. He's not necessarily outrunning anybody. He's just finding the open space and getting there before anybody else.
And last week we had a 3-year quarterback vet in Sawyer Smith at Tate. Tyler Phelps, his 2nd year starting at the helm for the Dolphins. Next year you can just see if he can stay one more year how good this guy can be. Really has a great opportunity. Continued high stepping down the sidelines once again, and he's going to take that for another Dolphins first down. So Phelps continuing to make things happen. And that's a great option to have because when you spread it 4 wide, Josh, and nothing's open, you've already got half the Chiefs' defense down the field. So really, it's you against a couple bigger defensive linemen. And when you have the speed like that, there's not much a team can do.
Yeah, and I mean, you have 2 options when there's nobody downfield, and it's either run the ball or throw it away. And when you have an option that can make a negative play into a positive play like Phelps, that's a huge asset as he gets sacked. But there is a flag down. We got to see what this is. It may have been a face mask. We'll see. It does look like maybe an illegal hands to the face. Oh, or no, maybe a hold on the offense there.
And the refs talking things over. One ref did from the sidelines signal in. It looked like hands to the face.
Red holding.
But we do have a hold
Penalty will
on
be
the
declined.
offense. Penalty is declined. And guess who? Once again, Jared Aliff. We've talked about him all night long. That's Aliff's 3rd sack here tonight for this Chiefs D.
Yeah, and that looked like number 66, Tommy Hegarty, got beat there on the play, and he really didn't have an option there other than giving up the sack. So got a little bit of the jersey there as an offensive lineman.
Big 2nd down here as Phelps looking for the screen pass. Nice setup right there. Have a couple of blockers up in front, and Covell's got room. He's got the 1st down. Moving down the sidelines. He's got the sidelines to the house, and it's good for 6, and there is a flag on the field, and it looks like now this one might be coming back as if we look down here, number 75 for Gulf Breeze looks like might have cost his team a touchdown right there as this one is coming back. What a great setup play. You got 3 blockers in front. Covell using it. Great vision there. And down the field once again, waiting for his blockers patiently. The only problem is Dimitri Pajic down at the other end is going to get called for the personal foul, which will take this back from the spot of the foul. And that was only seconds, Josh, from Covell breaking the goal line, or it would have been after the play. That's this penalty not only hurts the team, but literally seconds away from that being 6 points.
Yeah, you can't do that. If you're away from the play, you just let it go. But that screen play was set up perfectly. As a defensive lineman, if you feel the offensive line give up on the play, that's what they're trying to get you to do is get them past you. So you're supposed to stay home as a defense. Fortunately, Gulf Breeze sold that and had the entire defensive line from Northview standing there with the ball going right over their heads.
And Gulf Breeze has had a lot of bad breaks this year, but let's see how they can figure out a way to really, after a tough play, come back and rebound. And this is going to be a big play right here, fighting to try to pick up the 1st down as number 12 is tackled right by the sticks. Nice play there by Cole Shepard. Shepard now with 18 receptions on the year.
You had a gang of tacklers there, Luke Ward, to come in to clean up the play. They were ready to snap the ball before Northview was even in position. Their linemen weren't even down when the ball was snapped. Gulf Breeze likes to roll this offense and keep rolling. Gus Malzahn-like, if you will.
Well, and a great lead block there by Pajic, and sometimes seeing a guy recover, because obviously he feels like the worst one on the field after taking away 6 from Covell, but right there he opened up the hole, and this is one of the best left tackles in the area. Dimitri Pajic, 6'4", 250-pound junior, setting a great block right there, so a good job of recovering and opening the hole up for Covell.
Yeah, he was good enough that Coach Nemeth even actually sent us an email telling us that's a guy to look out for, man. He is big. He's quick, though. When you see some of these big guys, these big offensive linemen, they can't move. But you saw him on this last play, a left tackle pulling all the way over there behind the right guard to open up a hole. He's a lead blocker on a lot of these, running the same speed as a lot of these guys on the field there. A lot of the running backs running behind him, he's running just as fast as they move into the Papa John's delivery zone. Use that promo code RIVALS, 2 pizzas, 2 toppings, $7.77 each. Order online all week long as Gulf Breeze set up, ready to throw it, and it goes through the end zone. That pass intended for, it looks like Clark Kugat, and that pass was just off target. But, man, what a quick offense. We weren't even ready up here in the box, and they were throwing the ball.
They'll move it quickly down the field, 23 seconds left. Sam, a good run there by Tristan Covell, as Covell having a nice run up the middle now, passing 100 yards for the game. Gulf Breeze has really moved the football well here tonight. And into the end zone right there by the goal line, but he is tackled at the 1. Nice catch inside by number 26, Charlie Smith, the junior. And this will set up first down and goal with just 15 seconds left, so the clock is an issue as the ref starts the clock back up here, and Covell's up the middle for the touchdown as the Dolphins building on their lead, 29-18, pending the extra point.
And they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So this right here was a huge victory as we look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay. One of those simple handoffs up the middle. And guess who was the lead blocker on that play? Our big man, number 75, pulling on that play.
And the trickeration wide open in the back of the end zone. The touchdown pass actually from Matthew DeMahie, as DeMahie finding in the back of the end zone number 88, Kendall Gallagher. So not your typical DeMahie to Gallagher option right there, but you've seen the trickeration here tonight from this Gulf Breeze offensive attack, and now building on the lead. That's their third 2-point conversion here tonight. They have 4 touchdowns to Northview's 3, but the difference here is a 13-point game, so the score might be a little misleading on how Northview's played.
Yeah, Northview's going to go to the locker room on this one. They really have to be proud of how they've played. It's just the little mistakes here and there are costing them, and the efficiency of this Gulf Breeze offense. They don't waste any time, they don't waste any yardage, and every play is a successful play from Gulf Breeze. And they're doing all the little things right. Now, again, Northview is really holding their heads high. A 1A school here, limited in their depth, and they're hanging in there.
You can see the Gulf Breeze band getting set to go for the halftime show. Always a good job between both these bands. We saw them practicing before the game, and now with 10 seconds left, I'd usually say we're just about set for halftime, but in this game, not so fast, my friends.
And a little fair catch there as we hear from our Lee Corso impersonation here. I like the not so fast. We do have 10.5 seconds left in the half. And we did see in the first half how quickly the momentum can change. So right now, yeah, it looks 31-18. Looks like Gulf Breeze is running away with this headed into halftime. But, man, a couple of plays from Northview here and there, and they're right back in this.
And it doesn't look like they're pretty complacent at this point, just heading into half. As with 10 seconds left, Grant going to let something happen. They will hand the football off as Tony Harrison able to chug up to the 45-yard line. But that will take us to halftime as the Chiefs, valiant effort after the defensive touchdown and punt return. But it has been all Gulf Breeze here in the second quarter. Found themselves down 12-7, but put up a 24 spot in the second quarter to take the 13-point lead. We'll come back for the halftime festivities here as we get set to go. And you know what? You look at this, and it's been an exciting game as we expected from 2 offenses here at halftime, both putting up a combined over 300 yards and 49 points here tonight. As we will have more with Coach Chris Nemeth in just a second as Coach Nemeth gets set to talk with Ricky on the sidelines.
And we're standing by for that before we get to our halftime report brought to you by David's Catfish and B&C Nursery. And here we go, Ricky on the sidelines. Ricky?
Hey, Coach Nemeth, fun first half. How are you impressed with the performance?
Well, I mean, we've made a few mistakes, but I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of their resolve. We had to overcome some things. Northview's got a great football team, and Coach Wheatley does a great job. They're going to come out ready to play in the second half. This game's nowhere near being over with. And that's what we've been preaching to our kids is we got to finish. So, we were in this situation last week. So we got to be able to come out in the second half, and we've got to be able to continue doing what we were doing in the first half. Again, we can't get caught up because they do a great job, and those kids are tough. These are tough kids here, and our kids are tough. And so, I'm proud of the way our kids have responded, this first half.
And earlier this week, you were telling me you really want the team to come together, especially tonight. Do you feel like they're doing that?
Yes, I do, because there's no finger pointing on the sideline. It's just like when we had that personal foul right there on that touchdown that was called back. Our quarterback, went to our offensive lineman there and just got him settled down. It's just it's an effort mistake. But again, we got to be smart. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky. Proud coach as his Gulf Breeze Dolphins have a 31-18 lead. We'll take you more at the halftime report coming back here on Friday Night Rivals.
And we are back here with the halftime report brought to you by B&C Nursery here on Friday Night Rivals as we look live at the Northview Chiefs band, the Gulf Breeze band, giving us a magical trip to Hogwarts. Again on our halftime report brought to you by David's Catfish and B&C Nursery as we are set up on the sideline with Ricky Van standing by with Northview Principal Gail Weaver. Ricky, what's going on down there?
Principal Weaver, we want to ask you, are you so excited to have Friday Night Rivals here? Anyone can see this online.
I have been excited about having football here on Friday night for 21 years going on.
And tonight's a very special night because it's a big rival, right?
Well, it's a big rivalry, but more important than that, we've had the 9/11, September 11th, ceremony. So Captain Cody and JROTC did that. So that was a really special occasion for us.
Absolutely.
But we like to have Gulf Breeze in town.
Welcome up north, right?
Yes.
So anything new this year?
Well, we have a new student incentive program that we're trying out this year where we have what's called the Chief Profile, and we're trying to eliminate any else and pull up those GPAs and increase those graduation rates.
Absolutely. So Principal Weaver, I have to ask you, what do you think about the first half?
I think that we're going to have an exciting halftime talk in the locker room because I think the score could have been a little bit different.
Yes. All right. She's rooting for him down here on the sidelines. Back to you guys.
Great job, Ricky. And Principal Weaver there talking about the halftime speech that's invariably going on in both of the locker rooms. As she said, Northview coming out down to Gulf Breeze 31-18, Chad. But I don't think that if you go effort versus score, I don't think that they're ready to go. I mean, that they're indicative of each other.
And I think when you look at this game, it is a game where both teams can score at will. We've seen that tonight, whether it's defensively, punt returns, with the quarterback play on both sides from these leaders. And I'll tell you what, I think we're ready for a exciting second half as we take it down to the Scholar Athlete presentation, the Alex Shinara Scholar Athlete with Ricky.
Shinara A+ Scholar Athlete of the Week, Luke Ward. Not only is he leading with rushing yards for his team, but he's leading in the classroom. Congratulations.
Luke, on behalf of Friday Night Rivals and Alexander Shinara, I present to you the A+ Athlete of the Week award. Congratulations.
Sir, thank you. I want to thank my mom and my dad and my coaches and my teachers, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys in the booth. Congrats, Luke.
And we saw there Luke Ward, the A+ Scholar Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Alexander Shinara. And we are going to be right back here on Friday Night Rivals with the halftime report brought to you by David's Catfish and B&C Nursery. And we are back here from Brant, Florida, the David's Catfish House and B&C Nursery halftime report. we're going to send it back to the studio. Steve Nissom's going to tell us a little bit about Prep Football Final coming up. Steve, what do you have to say?
A couple of top 10 battles headline Prep Football Final tonight, both with Tallahassee schools visiting Okaloosa County. Niceville ranked 10th in 6A, hosting perennial power Godby, the Cougars number 6 in 5A. They were in the state finals last year. The Eagles, coming off a down-to-the-wire loss at Escambia last week. John Hicks' program has not lost 2 in a row since 2012, so we expect a major battle there. Choctaw, up to number 5 in 6A, is hosting Rickards, ranked 5th in 5A. The Indians looking for a little payback. They've lost heartbreakers to the Raiders the last 2 years. Last season, Rickards scoring on the final play of the game to win it. Escambia making a case as the area's best overall team. They host Catholic tonight. The Gators ranked 6th in 6A with 2 very impressive wins so far over West Florida Tech and Niceville. The Crusaders at 1-1, but took a big hit this week with star quarterback Zachary Blocker leaving the program. We'll see how they react. Also some rivalry battles tonight. Pace at Pine Forest, PHS at Washington, and a big region game in Alabama. Flomaton hosting their nemesis, Leroy. Our spotlight story tonight is on Choctaw. They've become one of the most consistent programs in the area. Greg Thomas leading them to the playoffs in 5 of the last 6 years. Last season, coming within 4 points of reaching the state championship game. As usual, they tend to exceed expectations. 16 starters to replace this season, but they're off to a 2-0 start. Quarterback was supposed to be a question mark, but it's been answered by a crosstown transfer. They also have 2 dynamic and versatile playmakers leading the way. We'll delve into what continues to make the Big Green Indians a special program. Bayside Academy provides our scholar athlete. It's all crammed into Prep Football Final tonight at 11 on Channel 3.
Thanks, Steve. And folks, you are watching WFGX Friday Night Rivals. We are here live from Brad, Florida. Again, the halftime report brought to you by BNC Nursery and David's Catfish House as we look live at the Northview Chiefs band. As we will bring it right back here in just a moment. Again, you are watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX, brought to you by David's Catfish House and BNC Nursery here at halftime. You are watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX, and things are heating up here in Brad, Florida, as Gulf Breeze takes on the Northview Chiefs. It is halftime. Gulf Breeze up 31-18 as you're looking at the Northview Chiefs marching band on the field right now. And Chad, looking back at some of the top plays of the first half, it was a wild first half. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, you look at this type of game, and it's one of those anything can happen type of game. We saw a nice drive at first. Gulf Breeze marching down the field on their first possession, led by Tyler Phelps, doing a great job all night long on the read option attack and picking up yard after yard. 65 yards on the ground here tonight, and then out of the backfield, just making the right decision. That has been something that Coach Nemeth has talked about all season long, finding the key player there over the middle inside number 22. Nice catch by Logan Green. And as they continue to move into the end zone, Phelps, one of his 2 touchdowns, and they've also been able to capitalize on the extra points and 2-point conversions all night long. 3 2-point conversions, but it has been an exciting game to start with. Here, Luke Ward trying to make things happen, and that was a touchback, but he did have a play earlier in the game where he took it back for 6. This play over the middle, just out of the reach. Earlier on, the grass was still wet as it rained here for a couple hours this afternoon. But that was the play that changed the momentum right there for the Chiefs as Tony Harrison took it back to the house, playing on both sides of the field for 6. Not able to get the extra point, and that's been something that that Chiefs coach, Coach Wheatley, talked about in the locker room. Special teams has been really a disaster tonight for the Chiefs. And you see good field position all night from Gulf Breeze, able to find a way to move the ball down the field. This play right here, unable to pick it up. But after this, a ball that looked like it was going out of bounds, but the Alex Cernara A-plus scholar athlete, Luke Ward, and his 3.85 GPA, taking it back to the house for 6. That changed the momentum right there. A pick 6 and a punt return gave the Chiefs at that point a 12-7 lead.
But still trouble on those 2-point conversions.
Couldn't get the 2-point conversion, so at this point only a 5-point lead. And that's when the start of the second quarter began, and it was all Gulf Breeze from here. Big run by Covell, Tyler Covell up the middle. Continue to chug, keeping his balance there for the first down, moving it down the field. And Gulf Breeze continues to just amazingly move the football here in the second half. And I don't see it going away anytime soon, as Gulf Breeze now with a 31-18 lead, as you're watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX, coming back for the second half.
We're with Coach Sid Wheatley with Northview High School, So what was your message to the team during the half?
Well, we're facing a really good football team tonight in Gulf Breeze, and they did some things on offense that we've got to make some adjustments to. We gave up way too many points and way too many yards. So our message is to be more disciplined on defense, have our guys doing the jobs that they're supposed to do, and play the way that they're coached. We just, we were undisciplined in the first half, and we've got to make those adjustments if we want to have a chance to come back in this right now.
Specifically, who are you looking to step up?
I would love to see my linebacker step up for me and make plays. Jacob Weaver, who's been out injured, is a really good football player, and we hope that he has a strong, second half here. My defensive linemen have got to stay lower. They've got to be gap responsible here, and we just got to tackle better.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky, as we are still here on our halftime report, brought to you by David's Catfish and B&C Nursery. We're coming back for the third quarter, and just like Coach Wheatley said, his defense has got to step up here and slow down this offensive attack of Gulf Breeze.
And that's been the problem. We talked about it earlier. Gulf Breeze looking to spread it out, throw the ball down the field, but it's really been the elusive running game with Covell and their quarterback, Tyler Phelps, that's hurt them. They've lost the battle in the trenches, and we talked about it. Only having 45 players on the roster, playing on both sides, the physical fatigue wearing down on this Northview team. They needed a halftime. If anyone needed a little bit of time to rest and regroup, it was them. You could see a tough second quarter where they allowed 24 points to the Gulf Breeze squad. But in this game right here, like you said, they've got to dig down. That defensive line's got to play tougher if they're going to withstand this tough Gulf Breeze team here tonight.
Yeah, and you saw the Northview linebackers, like Coach Wheatley said, and the defensive line. Not necessarily, this is not one of those times where you line up the biggest offensive line, the biggest defensive line, and run them into each other and see who comes out on top. This is a little bit more of a gap-responsible type of offense that Gulf Breeze runs, where they're, again, just trying to make those seams make the spaces. So when you're a defensive lineman or a linebacker for Northview, not necessarily jumping straight to where you think the play is going to be, you really need to stay home, and like he said, and going with the Patriots mantra from last year, do your job. And a lot of times your job is actually to stay where you are, not necessarily rush upfield. That's where we saw them get beat on a screenplay. That's where we see them give up some of the yardage on the runs up the middle from Phelps. As we look at some of the stats here from the first half, Chad, what sticks out to you?
Well, you look at it, and Northview only has one touchdown offensively, but they have more overall yards than Gulf Breeze. Time of possession's about the same. Those turnovers, key right there. Usually the team that has more turnovers, it's one of those cliches, loses the football game, but in this case, it's pretty much obvious here tonight. 4 turnovers have plagued this Northview team that every time it looks like they're going to fight back, they continue to have a tough break. One time right there with Luke Ward fumbling at his own 1-yard line, where Tyler Phelps ran the next ball in to take a 13-point lead. But it's been an exciting half where you have both teams with over 300 yards of offense, and I'm expecting, Josh, another exciting second half as well.
Yeah, this score is not going to stay 31-18 for long, and as Gulf Breeze takes the short kickoff across the 40-yard line.
And Gulf Breeze will start things out here, so the Dolphins will be led by Tyler Phelps. having a great game, doing a great job overall, making the right decision. You have them back there in the one running back, 4 wide spread, and a lot of read option plays where Phelps has picked up over 65 yards on the ground himself and really has been the team leader here tonight.
On these next few plays, take a look at number 78, Austin Whitehead, the senior nose tackle. His job is actually going to be to clog up running lanes up the middle, and that's really where Phelps has done the most damage on the running game, actually, as we see them actually run it to the outside for a change, and Covell picks up a few yards there on that first down run. But the nose tackle in these spread offenses, the nose tackle, his whole job is to take up as many gaps and take it down as many people as possible. He's a big, big guy down there, and he's going to be key to getting lower than that offensive line, beating them off the ball, and clogging up that running lane that Phelps has had open all game long.
Bringing up a second down here and 7 as Tyler Phelps will take this read option play and hand it off to Covell. Covell's got a seam, and he breaks it for a nice 14-yard gain all the way down to the Chiefs' 41-yard line before tackled by Tony Harrison, the senior linebacker.
Yeah, and you see some of those linebackers still, they're jumping too quick to where they think the ball's going to be, not to where the ball ends up. And you see them frozen on a few plays there. As, again, they're setting up this run game. Gulf Breeze they're chewing up clock now. They know they have the lead. They're not going to be able to chew up the whole thing, but they're really changing up their style here as Covell actually comes out of the game here after a couple of good runs, bringing up second down and 5.
And a great job there by the right guard, John Learned, 6'2", 270-pound junior, opening up the hole. That's 2 runs right there to the right-hand side. Huge hole for Covell to pick up the first down.
Well, and you're seeing their offensive linemen pull a lot. And when an offensive lineman pulls, he is moving from his position, running down the line and trying to pick up another block where you're really overloading one side or the other. And you get one of those big guys with a full head of steam clearing the way for these guys. And you're having some good blocking lanes there to run, as that play is blown up in the backfield by number 44, Dustin Bethea. That was a good shoot there from the linebacking core from Northview.
And right now that will bring up a 4th down and right around the 36-yard line. This 4th and 6, it looks like Gulf Breeze will stay on the field. You saw the Chiefs mascot looking on with intrigue there on that 3rd down stop. So a pivotal 4th down here for this Gulf Breeze offense, and Covell able to pick up the 6 yards. That's not an easy play, as Northview read it all right, just couldn't do anything about it. Covell chugging, and he's done a great job with those yak stat. We always love to talk about the yards after carry, and I'll tell you what, another Academy Sports and Outdoors first down, as Covell really has been key here tonight for Gulf Breeze.
Yeah, if you look at his cuts, he's always looking downfield, and sometimes you see some of these guys, they try to get a little cute with their cuts. When he sees contact, he's already thinking about the cut downfield, not necessarily avoiding that contact, but he's already looking at how that contact can parlay into more yardage down the field. What I've seen as we look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam, some young fans out there hanging out with the Chief from Northview. But what I'm looking at is I'm seeing some of their defensive linemen from Northview getting blown off the ball in these last couple of plays. I actually see them 3 or 4 yards down the field by the time the runner's there.
Well, and this would be a perfect time, Josh, for a play action or go down the field, or to try to give the ball back a little trickeration on the outside. Breaking one tackle, heading down inside the 14-yard line. Nice gain by Logan Green, the junior wide receiver. But that was a play right there where you had pounded Covell over and over. And at this point, you can see loading the box, this Northview defense with 7 to 8 guys, where that opens up the passing game. So right now, Gulf Breeze with this 13-point lead, it's going to be a lot easier. Take a little pressure off Tyler Phelps, the way Covell has really adjusted here to the second half.
And he's got another running back there in number 6. And that is C.J. Williams giving a spell to Covell there. But what you saw in that last play is that entire Northview defense, after getting a couple of plays pounded at them, they kind of anticipated that play. You saw the entire defense flood to that strong side, leaving it wide open for that run on the weak side there.
Well, and Gulf Breeze up the middle. Inside the trenches with that offensive line, they've been picking up 6-7 yard gains and maybe breaking that big one. When they've been running horizontal, this speed of this Northview Chiefs defense is keeping up with them, and that's one thing on the outside. really in that cover two, doing a great job. But this time, nothing they can do on the touchdown pass for 6 to Clark Kogut. And all of a sudden, the Gulf Breeze Dolphins, just like that, building their lead to 19 points with the extra point pending.
If you look at this Bob Tyler Toyota replay, and that was actually number 3, Walter Yates, on the touchdown, he had several blockers there. They were all wide receivers. That's something you like to see. You talk about your wide receivers making catches, but these guys making the downfield block as Gulf Breeze lines up for 2, and Kogut gets in for the 2-point conversion. And that has been another point of contention there, that Northview just has not been able to stop the 2-point conversion, and they can't convert their own when they do score.
So Tyler with the pass to Clark, and the touchdown will put Gulf Breeze in the 2-point conversion of 39-18. You're watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX. And welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. Gulf Breeze building on their lead now to 21 as the Dolphins on the road, 39-18 over the Chiefs on their first possession, taking it down the field, able to get the 2-point conversion and a quick 8 points here with 7:52 remaining in the third.
Yeah, and you saw again that Gulf Breeze offense running with precision. They were running up the middle real well, and they decided to just start kicking it to the outside, and Northview hung with them for a little bit. But again, you just have so many playmakers here from Gulf Breeze ready to take over at any given moment. As you see the big playmaker, our Alexander Shinara, A+ athlete, Tyler Ward there on the return, and a flag comes in. That may be a late hit, a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah,
let's see what that
was. A pretty obvious one up here in the booth. We got a pretty clear view. TJ Brubaker, the kicker, always wants to get in the excitement. He's a senior. He says, look, I've got about 7-8 games left in my entire career. He wanted to get in a piece of the action, and definitely was a late hit. It was about 3 seconds after the play.
We got a dead ball, personal foul.
Yeah.
Kicking team, 15 yards into the run, first down.
He wants to be in the locker room saying, hey, did you see that hit? Everybody's giving him a high five, be like, dude, you just cost us 15 on that one. But, yeah, the kicker, TJ Brubaker, with a big hit, but definitely after the whistle.
Making some noise there from the kicking game. A little Janikowski-esque maybe.
Fun times. That was like the bouncy house, when you're the bouncy house at the birthday parties and you get that final hit into the wall. That was TJ was just looking to get in a little piece of the action. And incomplete pass here on first down from the senior quarterback, Gavin Grant, looking for his receiver, number 3, Jacob Dunsford. As so far, we talked about it, the Chiefs have been able to move the football. We saw the stats, over 330 yards here tonight. The difference, though, Josh, is converting that into points. They only have 1 touchdown in the offensive side of the football. When you look at it, it really has been their special teams and big plays that's kept them in this game.
Well, and you see a lot of these plays, like the previous play there, dropped passes are drive killers. When you drop a pass like that gets your offense out of rhythm, you have to reset your entire offense. You just wasted it down, not even a yard picked up, because when you're running the ball, maybe you got a yard, maybe you got a push there. There's something moving. When you have an incomplete pass just from a drop like that, you look at it and it's a drive killer.
As we'll take you down here to third down with 7:09 remaining, as Grant looking to pass to the sidelines, short of the first down, trying to make some juke moves, but unable to pick up the first down is Ohiji Elliott. So this will bring up a 4th down, but we've seen this all night long from the Chiefs going for it on 4th down, and now down by 21. You definitely expect Coach Wheatley's team to continue to try to make things happen.
Well, when your kicking game isn't working the way you want it to, it really leaves you with no option. But then, again, being down 21 points like that, you really got to go for 2 here. Look for a nice short pass on the outside to pick up a few yards.
4th down, looking down the field for an open receiver, in and out of the hands of his favorite target, Luke Ward. Not a bad pass by Grant. He wanted that one. And no flags on the play as the Gulf Breeze Dolphins will take over on downs.
And that's a water timeout coming up. But what you saw is he actually had guys on the outside open. And you are watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX. We will be right back. And we are back here at Tommy Weaver Memorial Stadium in Brad, Florida. Gulf Breeze leading Northview 39-18 with Gulf Breeze first and 10. Ready to roll here.
21-point lead, and the read option fake handoff. Tyler Phelps able to take it up the middle for 5 yards, which will bring up a second down. And Josh, you expect at this point a team now with a big enough lead where they can continue consistently to hand the ball off to Covell. Phelps to get a lot more runs. You're not going to see a ton more passes here tonight.
No, and you're starting to see this defense from Northview worn down. As you saw, Luke Ward a little slow to get up. These guys are getting banged up. They're playing both sides of the ball. They aren't really a deep team, and this Gulf Breeze team running so quickly is wearing them down, as maybe a little inspiration there coming from their wide out slash defensive back in Harrison there, taking them down behind the line. But you are seeing these guys, they're really getting fatigued here. Gulf Breeze is just going to start to roll some clock, run the ball down their throat, and try to get out of here with a win.
Well, and when you're a left-handed quarterback, when you roll out to the right side, it's not the easiest pass to make unless you're Michael Vick or somebody that can do that for a living. But in this case right there, that's what Phelps ran into on that last play. Nice pass there over the middle. It's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 7, and with a 21-point lead, and no reason here to panic, try to go for it. They're going to try to pin this Northview offense back inside their own 20. And they're bringing on the punting game. Coming onto the field for the Gulf Breeze Dolphins will be Trey Wright, the punter.
Yeah, and I actually saw that screen pass was read fairly well by Northview. They all stayed home. They still gave up a few yards, but it wasn't as devastating as a gain as we've seen in the previous drives here. As a nice punt bounces inside the 20 and goes out of bounds. That's what you look for a punter to do, get it down there in what they call the coffin corner. And he's going to pin this Northview offense down within their own 20 there. Looks like the 16, 17-yard line there.
Yeah, almost was blocked by Michael Jones, was in on it. He limped over to the sidelines, gets a nice pat on the helmet, and this offense is ready to go for Northview, down by 21. We've seen them come back and actually put up 2 touchdowns in less than a minute, but it's going to be tough. This Gulf Breeze defense has really been key. This defensive line putting a lot of pressure here tonight. Guys up front really having a good game. Looking at some of the guys, Brandon Williams, Orion Goldsworthy, guys up front like Seth Chase, having a big night for this Dolphins D. And once again, nothing happening on the ground. There is a late flag, and usually right around the spot where there's a hold. But Josh, you look at this, that's one thing when you can't find that balance. And so far here tonight, the physical grind inside, Northview just hasn't been able to get anything going on the ground.
Yeah, and you're starting to see that offensive line actually has their hands on their hips. That penalty going against Gulf Breeze, so moving them up a little bit there. But this is actually the spot where Gulf Breeze ran into trouble last week against Catholic. Now, they did not have a 21-point lead, but we're going to see if Coach Namath got these issues worked out where these guys got gassed at the end of the game. But Northview, they're also gassed too, so this may be who is least fatigued here.
And a nice pass rush right there, but a good job of eluding it by senior quarterback Gavin Grant. And Luke Ward has some room and breaking things down to the sidelines all the way up until the 45-yard line, picking up a 25-yard gain to the junior wide receiver.
Yeah, and any time they've needed a big play, Northview's gone to Luke Ward or number 6, Tony Harrison, as we look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay. And Gavin Grant, like you said, he had to replace a couple of players that graduated. It looks like he found a couple of great targets there in both Ward and Harrison. Looking down the rest of the season, they're gonna be a couple of big weapons for them. And Ward picks up that Academy Sports and Outdoors first down.
Grant's been their starting quarterback for a couple years here for the Chiefs, and one of the team leaders on and off the field. Almost a trickeration play like we saw last year in the Auburn-Georgia game, but that ball is in and out of the hands as there is a penalty on the field, and it looks like this might be on the defense trying to make the play. There is an injured Chief on the field, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, that flag down, there is an injury. That may have been a targeting. It was kind of hard to see. The defensive player was kind of shielding our view from that. But you
pass
see
interference
that the
defense,
Coach Sid Wheatley is
15-yard
out there.
penalty from previous spot, first down.
15-yard penalty there. You saw Wheatley out there on the field getting in the ear of the referee as they tend to the injured player there as we look on the Bob Tyler Toyota replay. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, Chad.
And you can see right there Grant with the pass over the middle. There is a PI there on the play, in and out of the hands of trying to make the play was number 12, Desmond Moore. But still looking at the injured wide receiver. I believe that's Nikhil Robinson. We don't want to scare anybody at home, so we'll make sure to get the correct. That is Robinson on the play, the sophomore. So Nikhil Robinson getting up, limping up off the sideline, being a trooper there on the field. And he's had a great game, had some big plays and making things work here. The whole wide receiving core tonight has really been up to the task. They've had to make some big plays. You can see this is a very physical secondary for the Dolphins, and we wish him the best of luck. Hopefully not too serious of an injury for number 10, Nikhil Robinson.
Yeah, hopefully that's just a ding. He can come back from that because, like you said, this wide receiving core of Northview is actually going to be a problem down the road for these schools that they're actually more evenly matched with. You got to remember, looking at this game, down to 21, this is a 6A school that they're playing as a 1A school. Again, they don't even have a JV program. They only have 45 players. I'm actually very impressed with what Northview's been able to do, especially on the hand of Grant there in the backfield at quarterback.
15-yard pass interference moves the ball to the 40-yard line, and just like that, the pass on the outside to number 7, Ohiji Elliott, and Elliott moves it down to the 28-yard line. So the offense here in the second half for the first time getting things rolling for the Chiefs.
And you're seeing a big substitution from Gulf Breeze. This is one of the things that Coach Namath was working on this week, trying to get some of these substitutions in, give his big-time guys a little bit of a breather. He saw them last week doing too much, but this is the spot that they were in with Catholic. Let's see if they can kind of regroup here and stop this Northview attack that's coming on strong.
Ward able to get the ball in the flats and has some room to work with, picking up 4 yards on the outside route, and now having an opportunity to bring up second down, but time right now, 3 minutes and 38 seconds in the third quarter. As the Chiefs look to the sidelines, Coach Wheatley gives the play call to his senior quarterback, Gavin Grant. This is a team looking for their first win of the season. 0-1, they had a bye week last week after the tough loss to Crestview, losing that game 47-20. So an opportunity here. Both teams looking for their first win of the season, and it's the Dolphins with a 21-point lead here on the road. Nice juke move by Michael Jones. As good to see Jones all right. He was out there on special teams limping off the field last possession, so look good on that one, making the cut. And close to another first down, but it will be 3rd down and 3.
And that's something that he's going to have to learn a little bit as a sophomore. He made one cut, made the guy miss, and then decided to do a second cut just for the heck of it. He actually, if he would have gone downfield, would have picked up 3 or 4 more yards, possibly a first down here, as they are sniffing that Papa John's delivery zone. Let's see if they can pick up the first and get in there, as that pass sails well over the head of his intended receiver.
And right there, that pass was intended for Jacob Dunsford, but on the opposite side right there, looking down the field, Luke Ward was wide open, had a chance for 6. But still not a bad idea, trying to get it to Dunsford, a reliable receiver just out of the reach, and it'll bring up another 4th down here, as all night long we've seen Northview go for it on 4th. Obviously here at the 20, down by 3 scores, you have to go for it, and that's exactly what they're doing, wasting no time in the no huddle. Grant, 4th down, the pass on the way, and it is picked off, heading the other way. Gulf Breeze has it down the sidelines. Number 7 going all the way, Matthew DeMahie. One guy to beat and is tackled inside the 10-yard line. Matthew DeMahie with a huge interception, taking it out of the hands of the receiver. As we take a look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay, what an incredible play right there, poised to make the interception, and DeMahie going all the way back before being run down. As you can see right here, go all the way down and tackled at the 8-yard line. Let's send it down to the sidelines as Ricky has more on what's happening here tonight.
Well, I just went over to the Gulf Breeze sideline, and they are electric as they just ran the ball down the field. But when I was over there about 5 minutes ago, they were all cheering, and they said, I talked to one of the cheerleaders, and he said, we are happy to be out of town and leading. So if there's two things to be excited about on Friday night, those are two great things. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky. And they are excited over there, looking for their first win of the season as the carry up the middle, and we are right there at the goal line. Touchdown. It looks like he got into the Papa John's delivery zone and delivered. Again, that promo code RIVALS, 2 large, 2 topping pizzas, $7.77 a piece as we look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay there. Up the middle, had some rushing room, and that yak, that yards after contact there is what leads him to the touchdown. And Ricky mentioning the male cheerleader down there. A little fun fact, I did play football, but Chad, I was a male cheerleader 4 years, captain my senior year. So, my hat's off to the male cheerleader over there on the Gulf Breeze sideline.
And actually, I believe you cheerleaded with my wife back
That's
in the day.
right, actually.
I know that didn't sound exactly right here, but that was true. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a long story, but they actually went back to high school together. So,
Yep.
you know,
We'll send some love back to Brittany there in the Brilliante household. And Ricky back on the sideline. Ricky, what's going on down there?
Anytime you want to come down here and do a little stunt, I'd be more than happy to. I mean, I'm not afraid.
Well, it's been a few years. I can say that. I don't know if my shoulder and ankle can hold up for it, but I can say this. I was great at a good toss to hands, and if you needed a guy to get you a good round-off back handspring layout, I was your guy.
You're a great guy, Josh. I believe it. I believe it. You're always there for everyone.
Thanks, yeah. And then on Friday nights, I had to step up and be one of the big hog mollies there as we look at the Gulf Breeze Dolphins cheerleaders over there. I'm not seeing the guy. Oh, there he is.
There he is, yeah. He's in the back over there.
I know how he felt, man. I was the only guy for a couple of years. But enough about cheerleading. We are back here for football as Gulf Breeze kicks off 46-18 up on Northview.
And the kick pooched out to the 30-yard line as a fair catch call by number 4, Hunter Edwards. Down 46-18. And at this point, needing to find some offense very quickly. Down by 28 points, 4 touchdowns. As Gulf Breeze building on their lead. Everybody's having a fun night here tonight because about 3 o'clock I looked up and we were driving over here making the trip and I said, oh no, clouds please stay away, and they did. So we have football here tonight. You never know when you get around September in football here in the state of Florida what could happen, but I'll tell you what, this is one of these games that has been exciting tonight. We've had the offense we expected. But I think the Northview Chiefs fans are not done seeing some offense from their squad. Nice run there, picking up 6 yards on the outside. Number 12, Desmond Moore.
And he was tackled by the 35-yard line there. But what actually I saw in the turnover there from Northview, it's the same thing that's plagued them all game long, is the receivers not completing the catch. That ball was there. If the receiver would have attacked the ball, gone for the ball, it was there for him. But the Gulf Breeze defender was just sitting on that route and saw that he wasn't going to be aggressive towards the ball and just took it back.
That was one of those plays right there where Grant did not see the defensive end coming from behind. Ricky Alexander was trying to get the sack, and you could see it was just like, dun-dun, dun-dun. Alexander just had a few more inches before that would have been a tough play right there for Gavin Grant, but he was able to get rid of the ball before that, and it will bring up now 3rd down and 10.
Yeah. And I'm getting word from the truck. We talked about that Spirit football that is autographed by the entire Northview team. And we were challenging Ricky as you see a sack there in the backfield bringing up 4th down.
And that on the sack was Ricky Alexander. So
another
he was
Ricky.
that close last play. Ricky was able to make the sack this time on Grant.
That's right. Well, Ricky, though, we've gotten word they are going to let her be the one that throws the football into the stands here towards the end of the quarter. We're going to see what her arm looks like. The Florida Gator grad down there. Let's see what her throwing motion looks like. I'm hoping she can get it up here in the press box. I'd like to get my hands on an autograph.
And Josh, if she makes a good enough throw, the Florida Gators might sign her. They've actually been looking for a quarterback here for about the last 7 years.
Yeah, that's true. Ever since Tebow left, and he didn't even have that great of a throwing motion, but a good leader there. So let's see what Ricky's arm looks like here at the end of the third quarter and see if she can get that ball into the stands. One lucky fan's going home with that awesome autographed ball from the Northview Chiefs team.
Gulf Breeze will take back over here with 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. It's been all Gulf Breeze coming out at halftime, up 15-0 here in this third period. As you look at the guy in Tyler Phelps, really has been the leader at quarterback here on first down. Let's send it down here to Ricky as Ricky is set to go to make the big pass.
I have one thing to say. Gator bait. Baby gator bait right here. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Oh, the SEC love going down there on the sideline.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's football season. I love it.
Looked like more of a pigeon chomp right there, but, you know, that's to each their own.
That's the type of good debate I like here. And it's football season, Chad. I know it's week 3, but, man, that's been missing around all the offices, all the water coolers. A little smack talk. I miss that.
I have an LSU wife. My whole family went to Florida, and I work for a station that carries Alabama football. I'm trapped in the Bermuda Triangle of SEC football. There's no way to get away from it, Josh.
You sound like me. I came up a Notre Dame fan, Irish Catholic, of course. I went to Ohio State for a brief time, went to Florida State for a brief time, and have a brother who has a national championship ring from Georgia Tech.
Josh,
I'm all over the place.
Like you just follow whoever's winning the championship with that route. But
I'll tell you, know what? That might be the case.
Nice run up the middle there as Covell continues to have a big night now, passing 120 yards for tonight's game on the ground. But really, when you look at this game tonight, there's been so many keys, big plays for this Northview team, but it really has been the combination, that chemistry that has been built with Phelps and Covell in the backfield. Gulf Breeze has something special.
Well, they do. And, you know, they've had a couple of tough losses as we end the third quarter. We're going to be back here in just a moment for the big throw, 46-18, and you are watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX.
And welcome back here to the start of the fourth quarter on Friday Night Rivals, WFGX. Gulf Breeze 46 and Northview 18. But I'll tell you what, there's been some excitement on the field, but we got some excitement in the stands right now as Ricky has a football in her hands, and that always means trouble.
Yeah, so we're with Melissa Ward. Her son is Luke Ward. He was our A-plus Scholar Athlete of the Week, so congratulations to that. But we're going to have a little fun. So tell us a little bit about what this football is. What does it mean?
It's just a spirit football. We're going to let her throw it up in the stands and just let anybody grab it who can. But it's just to bring school spirit to, you know, the fans. We try anything to get them involved. So this is part of it.
And it's with the quarterback club, and everybody has signed the ball.
Yes. Quarterback club does a lot for the guys. We're responsible for meals, all kind of stuff that we do for them. So we're up to anything to try to get the fans up in the stands.
And the cheerleaders are ready.
They're ready.
All right, let's switch. Yeah,
okay.
There we go. All right.
Oh, and success right there. Nobody with a broken nose.
No, you know,
no,
actually, that was a beautiful
nice
spiral
right there.
Sign her up. And, you know, that is one of the things I had to say during the break, Chad. This is a great Northview crowd. First home game. Yeah, they're down, but, man, this crowd has been on their feet and loud the entire game. As you see, an incomplete pass there. That was wide open. But this crowd, the entire community has come out for Friday night. This is what you think about when you think about Friday Night Rivals. You think about an entire community coming out, getting around the football team. You got the sidelines lined. You got the stands full. The band's rocking. The cheerleaders are all over the place as you look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam. This is what Friday nights in the fall should look like. I can't be more impressed with the showing from Northview on and off the field, despite the score here.
TJ Brubaker on for a long field goal, and it is good from way downtown. Brubaker's kick from 42 yards. building the lead out to 49-18. So able to move the football, and now with a 31-point lead in the fourth quarter, we'll send it out to break here on Friday Night Rivals, WFGX. And welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. In the fourth quarter here, Gulf Breeze building out their lead 49-18 after the 42-yard shot by TJ Brubaker, his second field goal of the year. And Josh, that looked good from about 50.
Yeah, at first when you look at the stats and see that he only kicked one field goal earlier in the season, you go, man, they must not have a lot of faith in their kicking game. That is not true. They just don't like to use him. They're one of these high-tempo offenses that sees a field goal maybe as a little defeat. They like to see that offense running, but, man, that kid's got a leg.
And that tackle made by an entire sea of Dolphins right there, about 9 players in on the tackle, as Northview will take over now right about at the 20-yard line. So just as good as a touchback. Don't tell number 7 that, as Ohiji Elliott, who got tackled by about half the team there, but at the end of the day, they'll start at the 20 and looking to get some momentum here. You've got a packed crowd on a Friday night, beautiful night for football here. The whole town's out to watch you play. Northview at least needs to get 1 or 2 more scores in here to really just, like we said, this is a 1A team going up against a 6A team in Gulf Breeze. They've proven a lot here tonight, but it would be great for their team and the fans here tonight if they can get 1 more touchdown.
Yeah, this is one of those, if you're Northview, you almost have to ignore the scoreboard, but you do want to put up a couple more points. You want to have a little bit stronger showing, but coming out against a Crestview team in Gulf Breeze, we talked in the break, when they go up against a 1A squad, these guys are going to look sharp. They're going to look really good, and they know what these bigger squads can bring. There's not going to be anything that they're going to be afraid of.
You know, that was actually my tactic as a washed-up quarterback back in the day. I would tell all the fans before the game, Josh, don't pay any attention to the scoreboard. Just enjoy the game. Don't look at the board. But I'll tell you what, Northview at this point right now, they've proven a lot. They've got a lot of exciting players. This is a team that was rebuilding offensively after losing their 2 key pieces. When you look at an offense that had a lot of yards last year. Grant's 2 number 1 targets, Keandre Lett and Cameron Newsom, gone. But you can see Luke Ward is really someone exciting to watch. And that was an exciting catch down the sidelines for 20 yards. Nice catch over there by number 3, Jacob Dunsford, as we take a look at the Bob Tyler Toyota replay.
Yeah, that's one of those where as the quarterback, you see that he's got a step on the defensive back. You lay that up there. Good adjustment in air by Dunsford to bring that ball down for the first down, the Academy Sports and Outdoors first down, and it looks like they are on their way to another one. Look out!
Breaking a tackle down the sidelines. The ball comes loose and stays in bounds. That was a ball that tiptoed on the sidelines, and we've seen this a couple times. Northview just trying to go a little bit extra, and just an unfortunate break for the Chiefs there, but what a great play on the other end. On that play, number 6, C.J. Williams, the 6'3", 195-pound senior, staying with the play. And, Josh, in a game where your team's up, it's very easy to get complacent and give up on the play. But C.J. Williams running it down, that's one of the highlights of tonight. What a great play, and recovering his own fumble.
Well, every time you're in a defensive practice, every day, one of the drills you run, a very basic drill, is that hammer drill where you just try to punch the football out of the hands. He knew that he wasn't going to get a tackle on him, so the ball was his first option, and he did that textbook. That looked like a drill where he just put his fist right on the top of the ball, pops it out, chases it down, gets the turnover. Man, what a play there. But Northview, that was a great play. It looked good. That looked like a really good momentum-changing play. Like you said, they're trying to do a little too much, and when you're looking at a score, you have a big deficit like this, 31 points, you try to do a little too much. A guy maybe trying to be a hero, maybe trying to be the guy who gets it a little closer. That was a great gain. If he would have just gone down, secured the football, whatever it is, he'd have been fine.
And you talk about a drill, Zach Payne bringing the pain on that tackle, and that will be a 1-yard loss on 3rd down, trying to eat up some clock here with 7:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. A nice tackle once again inside, number 54, Alston Wiggins, the junior linebacker. A reminder coming after the game, switch over to WEAR, Channel 3, ABC, for Prep Football Final with Dan Shugart and Steve Nissom. It'll start at 11 o'clock highlights with all the big games in the area.
And you got two of the best in the business there. Dan Shugart getting an award from the Southern League in baseball there, a sports media award. Man, I'm telling you, he is a legend with awards stacked up very high, and he gets another one because, like I said, the best in the business. So after you're done listening to us two pros, flip over to those guys. They'll show you how it's done for the rest of the games over on WEAR.
You just can't beat the stash. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tom Selleck, he's in that class of his own.
So you're telling me maybe I should get rid of the
the
sides on the beard.
Maybe a little curl there, Josh. You got something brewing.
I might have to get some advice from Shugart on the stash. They even immortalized it in a bobble stash. I got that sitting on my desk back at the office.
And the punt is mishandled, and this one is recovered by Northview.
Touchdown,
at the
Northview.
1 yard line.
No?
They're going to cover it right there at about the half-yard line, but they'll get good field position, and we talked about them getting one more touchdown for the fans. You would think it would happen here at the half-yard line. A little bit of confusion there on the kick as Gulf Breeze trying to recover, but out of the hands of Nathan Palchek, and now it's going to bring up actually number 20, the kicker Trey Wright, the punter, trying to handle that one in and out of the hands. Good job all over that was
Hunter Edwards.
Hunter Edwards making the big play.
And they are in the Papa John's delivery zone. Again, a first down brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. But remember, promo code RIVALS, 2 large, 2 topping pizzas, $7.77 all week long. Use that promo code, order online, get 2 of your favorite pizzas, and they are great as we bring up 2nd and goal.
And Desmond Moore trying to punch that one in just short, so it's going to bring up 2nd down. And give some credit to this Gulf Breeze defensive front. Even on a play like this, they continue to battle. They've done it all game long, not making anything easy for this Chiefs offense. But this play, nice pass, and into the end zone for 6. Jacob Dunsford from Gavin Grant.
And Dunford's made a couple of good plays here in the 4th quarter. The senior wide receiver on that comeback route. That little curl, the inside curl route there on the Bob Tyler Toyota replay. You see him, good delivery there from the quarterback, making the defensive back miss. And daylight into the end zone, maybe a little shove after the whistle there as you see that tomahawk chop. This crowd has been great. They have not been out of the game at all. They aren't looking at the scoreboard. They're looking at how well their guys played against a 6A team.
And Luke Ward trying to defend off about 4 Gulf Breeze Dolphins there, but nowhere to go on the 2-point conversion. And the score will remain 49-24. We'll come back for more. 6:01 remaining on Friday Night Rivals, WFGX. And welcome back as we take a look at the Vince Wibbs fan cam. Still the excitement and a great fan base. Rain or shine, or even down in this case by 25 points. They're going to stay till the end. Northview really with a great set of fans out here on a beautiful Friday night.
Yeah, Chad, and like we've said earlier, I really think that this Northview squad is set for great things in 1A. They really are. They're a good team. They're going to be solid down the stretch here when they get into division play. Their record being 0-1 and then possibly going down here 0-2 as they look at the onside kick. Unsuccessful, but there is a flag on the play, maybe an illegal procedure on that one. We will see as they sort that out. But like I said, if you look ahead as Northview, you could really compete in 1A. It's really hard to tell where you stand against these 6A squads, and they've stood toe-to-toe with Gulf Breeze. Again, Gulf Breeze with the firepower, and they've been able to substitute, getting Northview on their heels a little bit. But, man, I really think they're going to be a good squad as we see what this flag is.
We got a personal foul. Kicking team, 15 yards, first down.
And at this point, a call that, well, nobody wants to see there. Coach Wheatley's on the field right now. You can see down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, talking things over. Not too pleased. He's saying, look, my guy's just going for the football. What do you want him to do? But it was recovered by C.J. Williams. Good hands with C.J. Williams, the guy who just made the big play down the sidelines, the strip and the recover. To really, at this point, now we look at that score and how big that play could have been, as it could have cut it down to a 2-score game.
Yeah, Northview, those little mistakes keep adding up. And again, Gulf Breeze on the ball, ready to try to chew up a little bit more clock. 6:01 left. Phelps at the helm, calling timeout. Didn't have the matchups and didn't have the personnel he wanted. Saw that he didn't have everything straight. Didn't want to take a risk there. They do have all their timeouts, and they're not going to need them down the stretch here. So why not use one?
Looking at both these teams going forward, obviously, as, hey, the cameras are up here with us. What's happening there? As good they didn't catch us like scarping our face up here with a hot dog or something. But we're having a good time and looking at this game here tonight. Josh, you want to get in the picture here?
There.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, there we go.
I'm not just talking to somebody up here. There's not a ghost. It's just us two. But, we're looking at this game here tonight. And when you look at Gulf Breeze, they're a team that can obviously take this game and build offensively because of how good that backfield worked out tonight, that Phelps and Covell combination. On the other side for Northview, it's a team that made some big plays but couldn't convert as many touchdowns as they needed in that first half. If you're looking at this from a coaching perspective, what's one thing you can take from both of these teams here tonight?
Well, from Gulf Breeze, I can take that my team, with these substitutions, with the corrections we've taken from the first two games where we lost, this game, we've seen that we figured out that piece of the puzzle. My guys aren't worn down in the fourth quarter. You still see them making big plays as Phelps in the rush up the middle there. These guys are still fighting in the fourth quarter, and that was a problem a week ago against Catholic. So moving forward for Gulf Breeze, you see that with the proper substitutions, getting these guys some breaks, they have playmakers, they have depth, and they can get to the fourth quarter. For Northview, you've got to cut down on the little mistakes. Dropped passes and blown assignments by linebackers. Those are the two things that I'm going to work on Monday. I'm going to look at my linebackers, getting them to stay home, especially on a spread offense, because that's the way high school football is going. At all levels, you're seeing this spread take over. And then I'm looking at my wide receivers. We're going to be running passing drills all week long. We're going to run tip drills. We're going to get their hands to look those passes all the way in and not drop those passes, because you think about it. They've given away a handful of opportunities on drop passes and little mistakes not securing the ball.
Got some good friends, by the way, Josh. I just got a text. I was enjoying tonight's broadcast before they showed your ugly mug. So, and they're talking to me, by the way. So thank you there from all my kind friends. But, we're having a good time up here in the booth. We've had an incredible night here. And it didn't look like it was going to be this good of weather earlier today. We were amazed when we got here to see the field in the shape it was. They did a great job at least draining what they could. I know it's been a wet field for a lot of these athletes, and they've done a good job of really not slipping up. No pun intended there. But when you look at this game here tonight, Gulf Breeze and the offense continuing to win inside, I think, has been the difference. The key has been inside the box. They've been able to really move the football and continue to use that offensive line. And I think this is a team right here that is just coming into their own. They've had some tough second-half losses to Choctawhatchee and Catholic over the last 2 weeks. And in this game, I think they'll be able to figure things out and move the football a lot better going forward.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that offensive line, and they're able to pull. And again, that's something you don't see high schools do very well. You have to have some speed, and you have to have some discipline as an offensive line to be able to have guys pulling and moving down the line. When you do that, you are kicking out guys and making lanes, and you're basically creating a mismatch. You're telling the guy in front of you, I don't care about you. I'm going to go get somebody else out of the way for my running back. When you do that, you're taking two people out of the play, essentially. And we do have an injury report from Ricky on Robinson. It looked like a lower leg injury as Gulf Breeze, again, scores with ease there. As they set up for the extra point, we're going to go to Ricky. Ricky, what was the deal with that injury? What's he working on down there on the sidelines?
With Nikel Robinson, yeah, I just walked over there, wide receiver, earlier in the game. We saw him roll his ankle, and I talked to Andrews Institute. They were over there working on his leg. They wrapped up his right ankle. Now his cleat is back on. He's not back on the field yet, but he is on the sideline. So we'll see if he plays for the rest of the game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ricky. That's good news. And a lot of times a little tweaked ankle here and there, and that can bother you, a high ankle sprain. But if it didn't look like there's any break or anything like that, maybe he's going to be able to go on. This week it may be better for him to kind of sit out and rest that thing, get some ice on it. But next week, maybe be ready to go. If we were looking at maybe more of a serious injury, that's a, number one, you hate to see it. Number two, for Northview, that's a big weapon that they would lose moving forward.
And the touchdown pass there out to Clark Kogut for the touchdown, now 56-24. Gulf Breeze building on their lead. A great offensive night here. A lot of firepower from this Dolphins team, making the hour and 15 trip, up 29 and out here tonight to Bratt for the game, and really just connecting on. Look at TJ Brubaker even getting in on the action. Not only did that go through for the extra point, actually knocked off the fire truck. Now you're not getting any extra for that, but still, I'll tell you what, that dent, every time the firefighters wake up in the morning, they'll remember that kicker.
They'll have the dent that they're going to have to try to pop out there. A little moral victory there. Hey, look, I nailed the fire truck.
As we are set to go 56-24 as we take a look here at the fire truck out there as they are lowering it with the American flag on a day that we remember the lost ones, the loved ones from New York City 14 years ago in 9/11.
Yeah, and again, they had a beautiful presentation here, remembering those that perished in Shanksville and in New York and in Washington. They had a really nice presentation. Again, the Walnut Hill and the Century Fire Departments coming out to present the American flag, hanging it there high over the game. And Chad, we talked about this earlier, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but we saw that sports kind of gave us a sense of normalcy after 9/11, and we're seeing that here on Friday. Yes, we still remember, but man, these guys down here, this crowd, we're back to normal. We're back to Friday night. We're back to having fun. We took a moment earlier in the night, and now we're back to normalcy.
And from two guys that are around the same age that played this game, and now unless you turn up your volume to about 75 on your television to play Madden football or college football, nobody's going to cheer for you. You know, you live in an age today where I don't think these kids realize when they go back to watch this game maybe tomorrow and they can tune in at 8 a.m., we'll replay the game, but how important this is because you're building not only friends and family for life with these coaches and players, but you're getting to enjoy a sport that you love where the truth of the reality is only 1% of these kids that we watch each and every week will go on to play at the next level, that will go on to star. This is something that getting to build in prep football and here on Friday Night Lights and getting to play on television, something I never had a chance to do, and that was probably better for the networks. They didn't want to see the ratings drop. But I'll tell you what, this is something special, and we really are proud to be bringing this to not only all the people back there watching, but for these kids that get to go back and watch it and share this time with their friends.
Yeah, Chad, and I remember, years ago when we were playing and I was here in the local area, and I remember whenever I had a big play, the first thing I would do is I would have somebody with a VCR ready, ready to record Dan Shugart's prep football final to see if I made the cut. And I remember the proudest day of my life was when I made a great kick-out block for a good score there against Navarre, and Dan Shugart said my name as the ball's going to go the other way, maybe tried to force the pass there. And Gulf Breeze is going to take over. 2:52 left in the game. But like you said,
Walter Yates in on that interception.
This is kind of the pinnacle, and these guys are on TV. And you also have two coaches on the sidelines talking to both of them. They're committed to not just coaching football. They're here to try to make men, young men, and develop young men and men of character. And when you talk to both coaches, that being a forefront, you talk about Namath over there showing images from 9/11 to try to show these kids what that was all about and try to maybe bond them as a team a little bit better. We've seen some of the other coaches doing some different bonding exercises, trying to get these guys to work together as a team. These aren't things that are going to translate to college football because, like you said, most of them aren't going to play. Mm-hmm. These are things that are going to translate in life, making these guys from 14 to 18-year-olds into young men. And that really is something that I'm proud to be a part of and bring that out to the community and out here on the airwaves.
And checking into the game now for the Gulf Breeze Dolphins will be Ricky Alexander. We saw him make a couple sacks, some big plays, and now the senior will get to step in after a great night here tonight from Tyler Phelps. The junior quarterback has really impressed a lot of people tonight. 56 points on the board as Ricky Alexander will take over. And like you said, a lot of these coaches, too, you talked about Coach Chris Namath. On the other side, Sid Wheatley. A lot of times these are athletic directors or teachers in the schools. They're around these students every single day, not only making them better players on the field, but off the field. You look at players like Luke Ward that won the Alex Shinara A+ Athlete Scholar Award, and with a 3.85. These are players out here that are just overall incredible people when you think about the game and what they can accomplish with their goals. And being here tonight, like I said, watching these kids, everything that entails high school football is coming out here on what a great Friday Night Rivals it's been.
Yeah, it's been a great night. And like talking about Ward, I got a chance to talk to him earlier. He wants to get into medical science possibly, or sports medicine, one of the two fields there. Carrying a 3.85 GPA, it's a lot more likely that he's going to go into that field than pro football. And that's something that's just something to be proud of. You got a good leader, a good guy on the sideline there now, waiting to see if his team can get the ball back, maybe put another score on the board. But he's a good leader, a good kid, and that's something that I think the football environment has allowed him to thrive and allowed him to step up and be a true leader as he's on the sideline rallying the troops against the backups now of Gulf Breeze. Gulf Breeze getting ready to try to run down this last minute and 7 seconds.
Just about less than a minute. I was trying to milk that. It was 1:08, and I couldn't do that for 8 seconds. Now, under a minute to go. Only 2 freshmen on this varsity squad here for Gulf Breeze, and one now in the backfield in Tyler Dittmer on the last carry, the 5'8" running back. Nice play, as well as Brandon Williams, the offensive lineman, in. So a couple of the freshmen, and that's a good feeling when you're a freshman walking down those hallways, getting ready for the jamborees and everything that goes into it, the cheerleaders cheering you on to the sidelines, and you know you got 3 more years after that in front of you.
Yeah, I remember my first varsity game, and it made me go from that pipsqueak freshman to I felt like the big man on campus. Of course, I was a big man. I was a offensive lineman, so I ate as many cheeseburgers in the afternoon as I could. But looking here at the end of the game here, Chad, what are you thinking for a player of the game? Who do you think really stood out to you from either squad?
You know, I'm going to give it to Ricky Van for that touchdown throw into the crowd. But, for the team on the field, I'm going to go with Gulf Breeze and Tristan Covell. I think you can either go with Covell or Phelps, what they've been able to do offensively here tonight. But Covell, just the way that he continued to run after contact, really incredible here tonight. He picked up over 60 yards on the ground after first contact. And when you look at that, it doesn't matter what team you're playing, Northview, Escambia, Tate. When you go ahead and hit somebody full on with pads and you're able to push forward twice for touchdowns here tonight and a couple other big plays, I got to say it's been one of the more impressive showings here from a guy that took over for a player in Josh Irby that was one of the best in the area.
Well, that's something I was just about to say, Chad, is he came into the season as actually a question mark. Mm-hmm. How are they going to be able to run the ball now with this new kid in the backfield? Well, as we saw tonight, they're going to be able to run it effectively down the stretch here. Gulf Breeze, after this game, is going to have a couple of tough tests playing at home against Pine Forest and then West Florida. So they're going to have a couple of tough tests. It was nice to get this win in, heading down there to face off against those two powerhouses.
12.5 seconds left here to go. Final play of the game as the throw is made out to the top receiver. Has been very busy tonight, Luke Ward, and he's actually going to get pushed out of bounds, so that won't be the final play. We're going to have here a few seconds, and it looks like once they get the ball back in, so just when we thought it was over, and they're going to go ahead and look over, there will be one more play here, so this
and
is
you
where
expect
you have
maybe
some fun.
they'll have some fun, maybe go down deep. Looking ahead again for Northview, they're going to play at Chipley and then play Van Cleve and Maplesville. They're going to start getting back into their district, their school size. They're going to really start to play against people that are of their same, I don't want to say talent because they are loaded with talent, but they're going to get to be matched up against similar schools. And that's going to be huge for them. The way they've played against this big school, my hat's off to them. But again, Gulf Breeze answering a lot of questions, coming away with the win here, 56-24. That offense rolling all night long. And we are ready to take a break. We will be back with the player of the game and the trophy presentation. You are watching Friday Night Rivals on WFGX. And we are back here, Bratt, Florida, Tommy Weaver Memorial Stadium on Friday Night Rivals WFGX. As you look at the final score, Gulf Breeze 56 over the Northview Chiefs 24. And we are going to send it down to the field as Ricky Van is going to present the Friday Night Rivals, that beautiful trophy, to the winners, the Gulf Breeze Dolphins. Ricky?
Yeah, we're with Chase Blake, senior linebacker, and the rest of the team. Hey, guys. Hey! So how does it feel to beat your rival?
Oh, it's great. You know, we come out here every week preparing and just looking forward to this result.
Okay, so you have the rest of the season ahead of you. What are you most looking forward to as a senior?
Bringing it and facing the bar for a district championship week 10.
All right, well, good luck, guys. Congrats. WFGX, here's your trophy. Somewhere, hey.
Let's
go. You love seeing that down there.
Great time down there. Get them all together wasn't the easiest thing to do, but good job by Ricky. Great job by Gulf Breeze. And like we said tonight, the player of the game, Hill Kelly Dodge, player of the game, Tristan Covell, just putting together a great performance, number 2, all night long. Really just entertaining the crowd with big plays. Him and Tyler Phelps making big plays, but it's Covell that wins our Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram player of the game.
Yeah, and as you look here, catching the ball, running the ball, all over the field. He even threw a 2-point conversion that was good. And that's why we're going to call him the quarterback, running back, receiver, the Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram player of the game. And again, a great, great night here in Bratt, Florida. A beautiful game. And again, I can't say enough about this wonderful Northview crowd out here, still hanging out, having a good time going into the weekend. It has been a wonderful night, as we are standing by with Ricky Van. You got a winning coach down there, don't you, Ricky?
And Coach Chris Nemeth. Hey, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah,
It's been a great evening.
Yeah, it has been a great evening.
So tell us, what were the pros of tonight?
Well, you know, the big thing is our kids responded,
Okay.
you know, and came just with all the stuff that happened, you know, previous 2 weeks, and you know, we went, you know, to 2 platoon, and we asked some kids, said, you know, you're going to get a chance to play, and so, you know, we don't have a whole lot of numbers, but we were able to create a little bit more depth, and keep our kids fresh during the game, and we were able to rotate kids in, and you know, and we knew, I mean, our kids had to get ready to play this week. They knew that they were facing they may be a 1A school because of the numbers in their school, but they got 6A, 4, 5, 6A play. Yes, they can. And Coach Wheatley and them do a great job. And so I'm just really proud of how our kids embraced the grind this week, and they were able to handle some of the criticisms and some of the, you know, naysayers and wonders. Our kids just kept their heads high in school, and they just, you know, they do their job as a student, and then they came out and they worked hard this week, and I'm proud of them.
What were some of the specific things that you were proud of tonight?
Well, you know, just the way our kids stayed with things, and the way they, you know, they played with class, and the way that they, you know, when we had some adverse situations, and I felt like, you know, our kids just resolved through that. They didn't, you know, lose. There was a point there in the game where, you know, the momentum was starting to shift, and our kids didn't panic, you know, and they just stayed the course, and you know, and that's, you know, the whole thing about, you know, with the 9/11 theme, and you know, just bringing our kids and telling them, you know, they got to come together. You know, I mean, we were down in the dumps. I mean, we were low after 2 losses, and our kids really, you know, were looking forward to playing. And so, you know, and it's hard, you know, for teenagers to do that. And, you know, the people, you know, saying stuff and, you know, wondering, you know, well, what happened? Why'd you, you know, what happened this week? What happened in the game? And, you know, everybody, coaches, everybody just sat down, and we didn't panic, and we just, you know, we know what we want to do. We know our kids. And you know, the thing is, we loved on them. We loved hard on them this week, and you know, and our kids, they did a good job versus the speed.
Talking about coming together, how do you hope they come together for the rest of the season? Because this is just one game after sitting down with your coaches. What about the rest of the season?
Well, we just got to stay the course of what we're doing, and you know, our kids have got to be able to overcome. We got to press on.
Okay. Well, they got to press on. Good win tonight. Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Thanks, Ricky. Again, Tune in to Prep Football Final. You got Steve Nissom and Dan Shugart at 11 over there on Channel 3. That's WEAR. They're going to have all the scores and all the highlights from all of the area prep teams on Prep Football Final. Again, tune in next week. Friday Night Rivals will be back in Navarre. Choctaw against Navarre Raiders, and that Navarre team has looked strong so far this season. A couple of big wins, and we're going to see how they respond without their star running back, Carter. He went out with a knee injury, so we're going to see how they fire back next week. Again, for Chad Brillante and Ricky Van and all of the fantastic folks back in the production truck, we are Friday Night Rivals on WFGX. Your final score, Gulf Breeze 56, Northview 24. Thanks for joining us. We will see you again Friday night. Thanks, guys.